disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Can I kiss you on the mouth?
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
You know, your son looks like a fag to me, totally.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Yo.
Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
Gonna be alright, Nicky. Go ahead. Shoot.
You just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it, asshole?
Don't be afraid. It's just an asshole.
What are you going to do about it, asshole? What are you going to do about it, asshole?
Alright. Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing podcast. Broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend Mr. BDA. Back for another podcast, the official Saul Canelo Alvarez Daniel Jacobs preview podcast. And you know what that means. Today it's prediction time, ladies and gentlemen. Prediction time. Anybody that can't cut the mustard in this fucking show, you're out. We're starting to count the predictions. So shout out to Rasclot, Bay Area, California, Box, Shepherd of Sons, Brandon White, Dr. Steelhammer, Gonzalo, Virtuoso, Azzy, and many more to come, I am sure. So thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to keep it real tonight. Let me tell you that much right now. Prediction time, like I said. Before we do that, let's get right down to business. Let's get the business out of the way. Don't forget to check us out on Spreaker and iTunes. You can download the official podcast there. Don't forget to sign up. Check out Twitter, which is where Bucho does his thing. Very entertaining. A lot of content there from his part and retweets from everybody else. You can see Haymanite's photoshops. His demented and hilarious photoshops. Nobody can do them quite like he can. So check those things out. And again, thank you for joining us. All right, you know what? Before we start, I'll send the invites real soon. But for all the regular Hangout panelists, I'll get to the Hangouts. Just want to say one thing, which is that, crikey, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, we're going to talk about Canelo Alvarez versus Daniel Jacobs. Specifically this fight. Oh yes, I remember what I wanted to hear. I want you guys in this chat room right now. Predictions. I'm gonna ask everybody, also all the listeners, to please write their predictions in the comment section of the podcast once it's over, so we can actually tally them properly. But right now, I want to hear some predictions in the Hangouts, and I will use that as a starting point for everything else. Okay, does that sound good for you? Sounds fantastic to me. Meanwhile, let's see what we get. We're going to open up the phone lines as well. Once we get something started, we just got to make a couple of modifications, fix some things, and we'll get the phone calls going. But I do see we have some fucking messages already that people left in the BDA voice box. So let's see what they have to say. Hold on a second. Nope, not working. Wait Think about that. Crikey. All right, so no messages right now from the box either, which is good because I don't want to think about what's in those boxes right now. Hold on a second. Everything seems okay here. All right. So, want to again talk about this gosh darn fight. All right, finally predictions coming in. That's what I want to see. What the fuck are these predictions? John Gonzalez, shout out to John, says Canelo by majority decision. Triple JJ says Canelo via knockout, 10th round. As he says Canelo KO 8. Quack says 9th round TKO for Canelo. Louis Blas says Canelo legitimate unanimous decision. Wow, so somebody actually believes Canelo's gonna get a fair decision on this one. Well, you never know. It could be. It's possible. Dr. Steelhammer says 10th round Canelo. Foul Paul says, what did I miss yesterday? Just a little something here and there. Couple of rants. Couple of predictions. But today we are, like I said, official predictions, and we're getting them right now. Dr. Steelhammer says vicious right hand from Canelo, he says. Jason Bourne says Canelo by PED stoppage. Falpo says you guys kicking out the content too quick. Well, I mean, we got a big fight, so we make exceptions. John Gonzalez says it might be a draw. Bay Area, California says Danny Jacobs split Deacon. I think he or she meant decision. Rich Rose says I already have Canelo up on my scorecard. Yellow Man says S. I don't know what the fuck that means. Fight Scout says those people already have their scores tallied up, like all of Anthony Joshua's fights. Oh, by the way, it seems like well, we'll get to that soon. Oh, by the way, I see we got Stu on the line, so we'll get to the predictions again in a couple of minutes. But before we do that, oh, come on. Trying to play the intro here, but hold on a second. All right.
I wasn't bad though. I told you what's gonna happen.
By the way, Stu, before we do that, tell me if you can hear the soundboard. Hold on a second. You didn't hear the intro, did you?
I didn't hear nothing.
All right, hold on a second. All right, Bucho, on the chat, in the Hangout chat, which one do I have to change, the microphone or the line in? Go ahead and tell me in the chat. Sorry about that. It's because we can't take phone calls, and the people in the Hangouts, they can't hear what we're playing, so... All right, Bucho's not answering. All right, you know what? I'll tinker on it myself. Hold on a second. All right, I know this is fascinating. You're gonna have to bear with me here. What the fuck is this? Ah, crikey. All right, you know what? Okay, now Butch is saying he has... Okay, microphone has to be real tech. All right. Didn't say that in the beginning. Microphone has to be real tech. All right, so tell me if you hear this, all right, Stu? Did you hear anything? Stu? Well, see, he can't even listen to me.
I don't hear anything.
All right, tell me if you can hear anything now. Come on.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah, I hear it.
What did you hear?
It was the Russian national anthem by the sound
All right,
of it.
fantastic. All right, so now so that means it works. Now you can hear what we're playing. All right, tell me if you can hear this.
Shut up for a minute. Shut up for a minute. Shut up for a minute.
Yeah.
You don't have any idea of the facts. You want to tell me about the night because you read it in the newspaper someplace? That's another matter, Charlie. That's another matter, Charlie.
All right, so that works.
Yeah, I heard all that, clearly.
Fantastic. All right, listen, and thank to Bucho for his quick response. All right, Stu, thank you for being on, and thank you for bearing with us out there. We are fucking technical issues. But listen, Stu, we did a little show. We did a little show last night, just a little impromptu show, because I was talking about the weight issues and the judges' scorecards and what they might be for the Canelo fight. What do you think? Are you looking forward to this fight, or is the fact that the judges are probably going to favor Canelo for this one, is this taking the fun out of it for you a little bit?
No, because I don't think the judges are going to... Because I'm actually picking... I think he's going to get to Jacobs eventually. But if that does happen, then I just want to see the right man win. And we'll see. I mean, it's hard to predict what the judges are going to do when the fight's not even happened. You know, the judges might get it spot on the night. So you know, Eddie Hearn is apparently he's very happy with the judges, and he's Danny Jacobs' man. So you know, I don't know what to say. Like I said, Canelo obviously is the favourite when it comes to decisions. You know, he's obviously got a few judges in his pocket, but we can't accuse Canelo of anything until he's actually done it. So let's see how the fight plays out. I mean, I'm actually thinking that Jacobs probably won't see the 12th round anyway, so might not be a factor.
So you're saying already, you're giving us your prediction. You're saying...
yeah, because I've been saying it since the fight was announced. I think Danny Jacobs right now is the best fight Canelo could have took. I think he deserves the fight. I think it's a very good fight, Danny Jacobs, and I think he's going to give Canelo a few problems. But I just think Canelo's getting better every time I see him. He's getting stronger, and the confidence is there now. I think with the Golovkin fight, I don't think he was actually confident in the first one that he could actually win the fight. But when he started to take Golovkin shots and then land his own, I think he grew in confidence as that fight went. And in the second, he just put it on Golovkin. I mean, I know some of you guys would have had Golovkin winning that fight, but I actually had Canelo winning that fight. I thought he was tremendous that night. So I just see this guy getting better and better. And I think Danny Jacobs has just got... He's not going to be able to be 190 pounds in the ring like he was against Golovkin. You know, he's... my dog's snoring. He's putting it off. He's not going to be 190 pounds. So, and Canelo's he's a bit snappy with his punches than Golovkin. Golovkin hits harder than Canelo. He hurts you more, but I think he's a bit easier to get out of the way of. Canelo's they're very snappy and they've got power themselves. And I just think he's going to end up catching Jacobs to the body and slowing him down and then taking him out.
Can you tell us which round?
I'm hovering around the 9th, 10th. I still think Jacobs has got the know-how and the skills to hang around and make it difficult. I don't believe he's going to get blown out of there like Rocky Field, and that's not going to happen. And Jacobs is too good for that. But I just think by the 9th, the 10th, then you know the body shots will start to tell. Canelo, because Canelo ups the gears. He starts very slow, doesn't he? He has a look for a couple of rounds. You know, he doesn't really go out to take people out in a couple of rounds. He usually barely does anything in the first few rounds. And then he ups the gears slowly. And by the 8th and the 9th, he's going to be piling it on. I just don't think Jacobs is going to be absurd. So, yeah, 9th round stoppage for me.
Oh. 9th round stoppage. By the way, over in England, is this fight Sky or is the DAZN? I don't even know how it works nowadays.
Well, this is the beautiful thing about DAZN. That's why I'm supporting it and I love it, because when DAZN have a big fight in America, we get it on subscription TV on Sky Sports, which I have. We don't have to pay for it, which should be the case. I mean, I've had to pay Canelo Golovkin £25 now, twice to watch that fight at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not acceptable. So I'm getting a world-class fight for nothing. I've got some chick I have come around now and again. She wants to come and watch it with me, so we're going to get some drink and food in and make a night of it, man. It's it's a cheap night, isn't it? And that's how it should be, and that's why I like DAZN, because DAZN are actually covering the fees. If it weren't for DAZN, this fight would be on box office, but because DAZN's covering the fees, they don't have to put this fight on box office. So yeah, great. I love the DAZN. I think it's great.
Oh, we got Daniel Jacobs. He's got the African music. All right, that's a little preview of Daniel Jacobs' entrance. He's gonna be keeping it real. Oh, look at that! I found the guys that are gonna walk him into the ring. Oh, that's not it. Sorry. Anyway, so you're saying 9th round TKO for Canelo. That's the thing. I don't know if you saw the pictures I posted when they did the face-off at the press conferences. Not only is Daniel Jacobs taller, but according to the 30-day weigh-in, he's also bigger. So he's a bigger guy all around. Because, you know, sometimes a guy can be taller, but that doesn't mean he's naturally bigger than the other guy. But he is bigger, he's taller. I mean, maybe, do you think that weight issue is going to, that weight class, 10-pound weight class is going to affect him? Or we're going to have to wait and see until the weigh-in to really see what happens there?
What, affect Jacobs, do you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you mean by affect him, though? You know,
well,
do you mean by not going up to 190 pounds is going to affect him? Is that what you mean?
Well,
no, I think I think it's a fair dues, really. I mean, £175, I think, is the limit, and I think that's plenty big enough. I mean, fucking hell, these are middleweights, by the way. You know, we shouldn't be talking about £175 on fight night. So yeah, it's definitely fair. I mean, do we really want middleweights coming in at fucking £190?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want that. So I think Canelo's a very smart guy. I mean, he's the A side. When you're the A side, you can make these moves. And to be fair, Jacobs is accepted. I don't think it's really going to affect Jacobs too much. I really don't. Maybe it's punch resistance a little bit, because obviously when you got 15 pounds on top of yourself, you're probably going to be a bit stronger and a bit more punch resistant. But that's about it. Really, I don't think it's going to affect his game. I think the lighter he comes, you don't need to be slug Canelo. It's too clever, too sharp, too explosive for that. You could get really hurt. So you have to be on your game. You have to be sharp. And I think the lower Jacobs is in weight, the better.
Well, so you don't think that the fact that he's weighing in about 30 days before the fight, he was at about 170 something, and he has to weigh in under 160. You don't think that's going to affect him negatively?
Well, no, not really, because that's quite good. If it's a couple of months out, that's about right. That's what most middleweights would walk around at that weight. So I don't think he's gonna have to take off. I think he's obviously done it properly. If he's at £170 with a few months out, that's about right. So yeah, I think that will slowly come off in the week, and he's probably, well, like I said, the weigh-ins Friday, isn't it? So I should think he'll be down ready on weight by then. I think that's about right. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. I've been watching a couple of Daniel Jacobs fights, and I think weight class or no weight class, the man is at his peak. He has the true African spirit on his side, and I think that's more than enough. I think that's more than enough for him. I think
he's going to need. No, I'm afraid you're going to need a bit more than the African spirit. I'm afraid, it's don't work like that. Otherwise, and Dongo would have beat Terence Crawford. So.
Well, listen, I'm not kidding about. I'm not kidding about that. The Daniel Jacobs has very good skills. Defensively, he's very good. Well, that's the thing. Let me ask you this too, because I want to hear your opinion on this. Defensively, they both have good defense. Who do you give the edge to?
I'd have to say Canelo. I just think they're different sort of defenses. Jacobs can be very on the back foot sort of thing, using his feet and keeping at range, where Canelo, his body movements, head movements, where he's still stalking you, but he's avoiding your shots, shoulder rolling the shots, and he's really good. I think he's learned a lot of that off Floyd. I noticed he started to copy a few of Floyd's moves after he got schooled by him, but. I think Canelo. If you like the backseat, Jacobs is the man for you, because Canelo's feet, he hasn't got the feet for that. But when it comes to body movements, like the way he parries shots and stuff like that, you'd have to say Canelo for me.
All right, so you give him the edge, but not necessarily by much.
No, but they're just two different sort of styles. I prefer the Canelo sort of style. I think Canelo, and when it chins as well, when it comes to defense, you have to put the chin involved as well. And I mean, this guy, you'd have to hit him with a fucking sledgehammer to hurt him. I mean, Golovkin is a monster puncher, and he just didn't dent him in 24 rounds. I mean, this. You've only got to look at his neck. He looks like one of them fucking American pit bulls, doesn't he, Canelo? I mean, it's going to take a extraordinary punch to knock this guy out. So you've got to give Canelo the chin as well. And, Canelo's world class, mate. Canelo's pound for pound, top 3. So it's hard for me to say Jacobs is better than him at anything. Maybe Jacobs is a bit more slick than Canelo, I suppose, if you want to use the word slick.
No, I don't, actually. You should know better than that. All right, now let me ask you this. You said Canelo has a better defense and a better chin. Do you still think he's the better dresser? Because I'm going to show you a picture right now. I'm going to put it back up on the screen. I already put it up yesterday. Can you see what's on the screen, or?
I'm not seeing the screen at the moment because I actually paused the Hangout so it don't fuck my internet connection up. But I'll see it when I watch back, sort of thing. So,
all right.
But I know which clothes. I know what clothes you're talking about. The ones he came out to. Is it the African clothes he came out to?
Oh no! I'm talking about Canelo, the clothes he was wearing earlier this week. He's
I
wearing.
haven't seen it, but what did he have, a checkered shirt on or something?
Well, you know what? When you have the chance during the hangout, go to his Instagram page and scroll down just a little bit, and you can't miss what he's wearing. He's wearing a one-piece attire. It's like pajamas or something, and they got pandas. It's pandas all over the place, and he's got a little thing in the back. You know those pajamas for little kids for when they go to the bathroom and they in the rear end. Well, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is this, man?
Sake. I mean, I'd never had Canelo as a fashion icon. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what he's fucking playing at. He should stick to the check shirts and the fucking Mexican hats. A lot easier, isn't it?
I would say so, man. And he also has a glass of. He's got a coffee cup on his right side. No, sorry, his left side, and he also has a glass, a clear crystal glass, and he's got a rose in it, a red rose. And people are saying, "What the fuck is this guy up to, man?" I think
I don't know what. I don't know what. I've got to look back at this because this is the first I've heard of it. I mean, not sure what he's playing. He's been calm all week though, Canelo. He's very calm and customer, Canelo. You never see him rattled, do you? I mean, I've probably seen him rattled once in the Golovkin build-up for the second fight. I think he got a bit rattled, but he's quite a cool, calm, collective guy. I think Jack Jacobs seems to be the one a bit rattled, you know. But it's fight now. I'm sure both of them are nervous, man. You get nervous just having a fucking fight in the street, don't you, with someone? Never mind fighting in front of millions of people, for millions of dollars and belts on the line. So
well,
I'm sure they're both nervous. Oh yeah, I forgot.
No, but you're right. For most people, unless you're named Mr. BDA, most people do get nervous.
Everyone but BDA. Yeah, I forgot to say that.
But that's the thing, though. Stu, Daniel Jacobs has fought Suleki, the guy that was supposed to be the boogeyman in Derevchenko. He fought Golovkin already as well. So I don't think Canelo's going to show him anything he hasn't already seen. What do you think?
Who? Sorry, you cut out a bit. Who he's talking about?
Well, that's what Daniel Jacobs has fought almost everybody in the middleweight division. Do you think Canelo's going to show him something he hasn't seen already?
Yeah, I think Canelo brings different things to his game than Golovkin and Selecki and Derevchenko. He's definitely better than Derevchenko and Selecki, that's for sure. So, I think the way he tucks up behind his guard and just strolls forward like a machine. I mean, it's when he starts landing his shots and getting in his rhythm, he's got all the tools in the box, especially when it comes to throwing punches. I mean, he's got them all. I mean, and he's very classy with his shots as well. They're not just lunging. He's not lunging in with them and just throwing them out of range and wild swings like Wilder. These are fucking technically sound shots he's throwing with a lot of venom in them. So, yeah, he brings a lot different. I don't think Jacobs is going to have to. He's not. It's going to be easier for him to get away from the likes of Golovkin than Golovkin because Golovkin cuts off the ring like a master, and Canelo can't do that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's going to find certain things easier, but then when he's in the mid, because Jacobs likes to get in mid range and start letting his hands go and leaves his chin in the air, and that's when Canelo starts to fucking land his shots, and then you're in big trouble sort of thing. So. Yeah, it's a world-class fight. It could go either way, but when I keep thinking about this fight, everything's telling me to lean towards Canelo.
Well, you might be onto something because most people in the chat room, when I asked them who they're picking Canelo by stoppage. I would have assumed they would have said Canelo by decision because it's the safest pick, but no, they're saying Canelo by stoppage. A lot of them. So you might be onto something. I also see we got Gonzalo on the line. Gonzalo, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, good to have you on board. We're just talking today the preview for Canelo versus Jacobs, and we are going to be getting predictions, official predictions. So I want to get your opinion on the fact that apparently Canelo is a 5-1 or 6-1 favorite right now. I think 5 or 4-1. I forget. I have to check again. But does that sound about right to you, or what do you think?
That sounds about right. I mean, Jacobs can close it up a little bit and pick up some steam, getting closer to like the fight night, on the day of the fight. But ultimately, Canelo will be the favorite. Because look, also, I had a little bit of time to think about it. By the way, I think Stu is spot on all his comments. He really knows his boxing because I feel the same way. You know, Canelo's very calm, and I rate him about 3 pound per pound. And you know, many of the things he's saying make sense. But I would like to say, look, I had a little bit of time to think about it. Danny Jacobs, to start off, look, he made a statement saying that he's not only fighting Canelo, but he's fighting the judges. Well, you know what? Jacobs has got out of his last 3 fights, he's gotten 2 decisions to go his way against Deryachenko and against
Suleki.
Suleki.
Yeah.
Yes, and so you know he's gone to decision on his last 4 fights, and he keeps complaining that he got robbed against Golovkin. Okay, so as far as that goes, um, he needs to come out and make a statement, you know, and not leave it in the judge's hands. And as far as the weight goes, he keeps crying that he can't weight bully people because he always comes in heavy. So if he always wants to keep crying about the weight, he needs to kick rocks up to 168 pounds. You know, so you can't come into the fight thinking that you know you're getting all these fair advantages. He just needs to come in and put up the best performance he can and come to fight because we don't want to start thinking negatively and blaming Canelo, you know, because ultimately Canelo's not the one that decides. You know, we will blame Canelo if he gets a close decision, but it's really the judges, you know, that decide that. But you know, like I said, Danny Jacobs has also gotten decisions to go his way, you know. But
So
yeah.
all right. So you're saying, but I agree with everything you're saying. Jacobs has been getting the close decisions. I think he deserved the decision against Suleki and against Derevchenko. That being said, he is not the A side in this equation. So if anybody's getting the decision, you have to assume that it's going to go to Canelo. The equation has changed.
Well, it didn't happen to De La Hoya like that always. I mean, he lost against Mosley got the 2 decisions, and I think he really deserved to win one. I mean,
Yeah.
he got the decision against Felix Sturm to go his way, but you know, but he was also robbed a few times. You could even say that that happened to him on the Trinidad fight. You know, so nobody is the exception. You can always assume, like Stu was saying, that this is going to happen because look at Pacquiao. He clearly won the first Timothy Bradley fight, and he got blatantly robbed. You know, so maybe sometimes like the judges. This is what I don't like about. You know, they were gonna have Adelie Bird, but ultimately they took her off the card because Eddie Hearn made a complaint.
Yeah, that would have
But
been too much.
you know, if this is the reason, not that I want to favor Canelo always, but if you think he's got, yeah, if you think he's got the benefit of the doubt before, you're gonna. Some people are gonna like the judges, for example. You could think that they're gonna overcompensate and say, you know what, I'm gonna favor Jacobs because Canelo's got the benefit of the doubt before. But we don't want to be like that. We don't want when it comes down to it for them to be over generous to another fighter and fuck the fighter that's got the benefit of the doubt before because ultimately it wasn't his decision. It was the judges. So we just gotta be fair.
There's one good thing about Canelo having the judges in his pocket. Jacobs is going to have to come to fight. He can't fight like he did against Golovkin, even though some people had him winning. I don't know how they had him winning, but people see different fights. But he's going to have to come with a different game plan. That's not going to be enough to beat Canelo on the cards. He's going to have to fight Canelo. He's going to have to throw with him. It's just going to be hard. I mean, the slick boxing. I know the word slick again. That sort of just say the technical boxing. Then
there you go.
You know, that works now and again, but I just don't think it's going to be enough for someone like Canelo. I think you're going to have to fight with him, and you're going to have to go to war with him at times and let your hands go, and you've got to just pray that he don't catch you on the button. So it's just a massive task for Jacobs, but at least it stops him from trying to nick it because we don't want to see pound for pound fighters losing their titles to guys that try and nick it on the back foot because I hate that sort of fighting. I mean, I know it's boxing and some people I don't.
Well, let me tell you this. Going back to what Gonzalo said regarding the decisions, I brought up the Pacquiao example too in a couple of episodes ago about regarding the Bradley fight and De La Hoya also against Trinidad as examples of the A side getting screwed over sometimes. And also, let's get into conspiracy theory mode here a little bit because Jimmy, who was here a couple of episodes ago, told us that supposedly Canelo and De La Hoya are a bit at odds because Canelo is the one who knows he's in control. He knows the Golden Boy promotions need him, so he's calling all the shots. Now, De La Hoya probably likes that. He probably likes to get bossed around. He probably likes to wear a collar and, a fucking gag ball and everything. But I think financially, he doesn't like it so much. So maybe, you never know, maybe if it's a close fight, they actually give it to Jacobs as a message to Canelo to say, hey, listen, fucker, you might be the star here, but we decide, the judges, we decide that the fucking officials and all that, and if you don't stay in line, we might just screw you over.
Yeah, I can't see that. I could understand if De La Hoya had this fucking herd of new fighters ready to replace Canelo, but he's got nobody. I mean, this is the only guy he's got that's worth a fucking toss, to be honest with you. So he's basically keeping Golden Boy running on his own. Why would he do that? I just don't understand that. Canelo is, like I said, top 2 biggest star in the world. I think he's number 1, but that's some people think it's Joshua. At the end of the day, why would you throw fucking guys to the walls that you don't mind losing. Let's just say that. Like Al Heyman. Al Heyman will feed you one of his guys. Yeah. If he hasn't got any plans for him, but not Wilder or Charlo or Spence. You got 2 votes, but the other guys, even Sean Porter, I think he'll feed you Sean Porter if you offer the right money. There's certain guys he'll let go, but not with.
Well, hold on a second. Before we continue with that, sorry, Gonzalo, but before, just as a counter argument to what Stu just said, people in the chat room are saying that Golden Boy has Ryan Garcia in the roster, so they just proved you wrong right there, man.
Oh fuck!
What, you don't agree with that, Golden Boy?
Yeah, because I really see Ryan Garcia getting a fucking $300 million contract.
What's up, fellas?
Yeah. What's up, Johnny?
What's up, dude? Fucking slicker than a fucking 20-year-old's muff. You understand?
Yeah.
I can't have.
Yeah. BDA.
Yes.
Sorry, Johnny. I was just gonna say BDA. Based on what happened to Manny Pacquiao, I agree with you that they might want to send a message to Canelo Alvarez. We run shit here, but in this occasion, in this instance, I think Canelo's prime and in the moment to give a fight where he's gonna make a statement. Where he's gonna come out to try and really knock out Danny Jacobs. And I know Danny Jacobs is gonna be on the back foot at times, but also he's gonna want to make it interesting, because he realizes this is the point that he's in the making of a pay-per-view star. So he wants to give a good performance. So he's gonna want to give the fans a good fight, especially on Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Here's what I think, bro. Let me just get my 2 cents real quick, bro. I think, and I think I said this a few shows ago as well, bro. There's a reaction video of Danny Jacobs reacting to the decision on that first Golovkin-Canelo fight, right? So he knows, and even he was like, man, Golovkin got fucked over in that decision. So he knows he's got to come in there and knock Canelo's head off to win. Like, he knows he's not getting a shake on the cards, bro. And this is the thing, man. Like, people are saying, yeah, he's going to knock Jacobs out or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if he stops him late, but I don't think he's just going to run through Jacobs, dog. I think he's going to have his hands full, bro. I don't think he's just going to fucking go in there and fucking cream Jacobs. I think it's going to be a real good fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I hope so. I hope it's a good fight. Listen, like I was saying yesterday, Johnny Boy, I put up the picture of Canelo and Daniel Jacobs at the face-off they did during one of the press conferences. Jacobs is taller and he's bigger. He's not just taller, he's bigger. So unless he gets depleted by that fucking clause, the 10-pound weight clause, I don't see this being easy for Canelo at all.
No, BDA, and hold on 1 second, Gonzalo. And here's the thing. Danny Jacobs, he's gotta be on point, dog. He's gotta be good, good head movement, good upper body movement. He's gotta keep it in the middle of the ring and keep pumping the jab in his face and keep using his fucking reach and his size to his advantage Because if he just lets Canelo bulldoze him, you know, then we know whose fight it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he's got to use those.
but
He's got to use those perks to his advantage. Is all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We could assume that you know logic would say that it would go to a decision because Danny Jacobs has gone to like during his last 4 fights he's gone to decision, and Canelo as well. You know, because he's fought against Golovkin. Well, he knocked out Rocky Fielding, but let's just be concerned about the tough
Top
fights
opposition.
against Golovkin. Yeah, but look, Danny Jacobs. I think I had a little bit of time to think about it. He's overrated in my mind because look, against Sergey Deryachenko was a close fight. Against Sulecki was a close fight. Against Luis Arias, we're going back. Luis Arias, it was a lackluster performance. If not close, he didn't do anything decisively. The fight before that against Gennady Golovkin, he claims he won, but he definitely lost. The fight prior to that, Sergio Mora, he got knocked down, so he got exposed a little bit. And Peter Quillin, he iced in 1 round. So what can that really tell us? Oh yeah, he's a good fighter, and he was able to knock out an overrated fighter in Peter Quillin. So I just think in the fight before that against Sergio Mora, he touched the canvas again. So what are Danny Jacobs' best wins?
Yeah.
Knockout of Caleb Truax in the 12th round, and a win against the aforementioned already Peter Quillin, which is overrated.
Well, wait a minute.
So I think Danny Jacobs is just a little overrated.
I think it's the eye test with Jacobs. I mean, I think if you watch Jacobs, you can see he's not bad. He's a good fighter, and like I said, anyone that can go 12 with Golovkin's got my respect, no matter how you do it. So he's definitely a decent fighter. I think it's a bit alarming that Selecki was tagging him up in the pocket, when they was exchanging, and there was times when Jacobs was loading up with shots, and he was skimming Selecki's chin by millimeters. And I reckon if it had landed, it'd have fucking killed Selecki. He throws fucking monster shots in the pocket. So he's going to get Canelo's respect. It's just that Canelo chin. It's just I see it cracked when he was like, I think 18 years old against Cotto's brother, and I've never seen it cracked. And when it went in cracked, he got a little, he wobbled a little bit.
He got buzzed.
Yeah, he got buzzed. But I've never seen him hurt since. Never seen him phased. I mean, he was actually smiling when Golovkin was landing on him. I mean, the guy's going to be. It's going to be very hard to knock out. And like you said, if the judge is on his side, like a lot of you guys are saying, then points is out the window as well. Jacobs' best bet is just to go in there, give it his all. And if he does go 12 and he puts on a good fight, some people are going to say, well, even if you didn't win it on the card, you won it to us because we had you winning. So he's going to get respected. It's a bit like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was in a no-win situation, but actually came out actually more popular for the draw sort of thing.
I got one thing to add to that. I know we got recognized and precise. I was just going to say, I think Canelo was hurt in the last couple of rounds of that Golovkin fight. He's just got a good poker face, Doug. I do think.
No, I didn't see that.
Well, by the way, didn't Canelo tell his trainers after he got hurt against Golovkin in the second fight? Didn't he tell them that he got stunned a little bit, or am I imagining things?
No, he said no. He said no, BD. He said he was okay. Eddie Reynoso was a little concerned. Is he told him, "Did he hurt you? Te lastimó?" And he said no, and I believe him. He remained calm.
I remember Canelo saying that these punches weren't hurting at all because they said, "What's the punching power?" There's nothing. It weren't hurting at all. I'm not saying that's true because he probably was lying because I wouldn't want to take one off Golovkin. I'm sure they hurt, but Canelo's a tough guy, man. I just don't think Jacobs is gonna have to get the stoppage, and I just don't see him getting the stoppage.
And going back to the statement that he remains cool, calling collective, I've always liked seeing that in a fighter when he mentioned that he got hurt when he was a younger fighter against Jose Miguel Cotto's older brother. I always like seeing in a fighter when he can show a different level. When he gets hit with a good punch, a la Miguel Cotto, when he got rocked against a few fighters, like Jose Torres, where they can come through the fire and show that they can be able to regroup, and come against adversity.
Mm-hmm.
And if he got rocked slightly, Canelo did when he was younger. He was able to compose himself and not really look, like amateur, like he couldn't gain his ground. So I'm interested always to see that. Even De La Hoya proved that when he hit the canvas against Ike Corte and other fighters, that he was able to regroup himself and Trinidad as well. This is like the medal of good fighters, and that's always an aspect to the game that you want to be a fan of.
That's right. Now you mentioned Jose Miguel Cotto, Cotto's brother. Now they do kind of look alike, so it's kind of hard to tell them apart. Just to give you a little bit of an example or a rule of thumb to tell them apart, Jose Miguel Cotto is the one that's not gay. All right.
He's a fag.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But anyway, also there's a lot of.
He still has hair.
Hold on a second. There's a lot of infighting in the chat room. Apparently, Precise was going at it against Rasclot and everything. Let me just say this real quick. We're all going to be going somewhere else. There's more to this world than just this plane of existence. And in the kingdom of God, there is place for everybody. There's a seat for everybody. So I want everybody to stop fighting. Remember that we are brothers and sisters.
BDA, let me tell you something. What you got to do is you take your mortal sins, times it by 50, and you take your venial sins and times it by 25. So I figure I got to do about 5,000 years in purgatory before they finally let me into heaven. But that's nothing in eternity times. I can do that standing on my head,
Jesus, you got that line memorized and everything, man.
Oh yeah.
Good old Polly Walnuts. Everybody knows hell is hot. It's never been disputed. Where the fuck did you get that from? All right, by the way.
Did they have buds for horns, those goat bumps?
By the way, before we continue, we got Precise and Recognize the Matrix on the line.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there. But the crime is down.
I don't really give a shit about either one of them two bums you guys are talking about.
Well, hold on a second.
Just here.
Could you guys hold on a second? Could you guys hear the intro?
No.
What the fuck? Nobody
Recognize
can hear.
Recognize you have a good birthday, bro.
But hold on.
We got Johnny boy. Thank you, sir.
Hold on a second. We gotta get this. We gotta. Sorry to interrupt, but we gotta get this sorted out. None of you could hear the intro.
Sorry.
None of you could hear the intro. What the fuck? All right, hold on a second. Tell me if you can. Tell me if fucking Johnny Boy heard the sound bites. Can you hear this? Tell me what you heard. All right.
I mean, the kids over here, we're hugging and kissing over here, and 2 minutes later, you're acting like a
What?
Oh, you should.
Yeah, I didn't hear a fucking thing. What are you
Somebody swallowed something.
Yeah.
Nobody can.
Something.
The fuck? What's going on here? Anyway, fuck the sound bites. Fuck the intros.
They're hearing it in the on the hang. They're hearing it on the YouTube, but we're not hearing it in the Hangout.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Is this your way of trying to prove that you're not Bucho? Like Bucho's tech savvy and you're not.
No, I'm here.
The Bucho's here now. Bucho, what's going on, man?
Okay.
Well, you before, so I don't understand, man.
No, right, because Bucho.
Happy belated birthday, right?
Hey, hold on, man. Johnny boy, calm down, man.
I'm gonna
fix this shit.
My bad. I'm gonna fucking blame Bucho for this one because he was playing around with the sound settings. Now people in the Hangouts can't hear shit.
I blame Bucho for everything, to be honest.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, fuck the soundboard for the minute. Let's get back to the boxing. We got a.
My bad, Bucho.
That's okay, man.
I think Bucho should apologize to us for messing everything up. That's what I personally.
That's a good point, man. That's a good point. Anyway, listen. Let's get back. All right, Precise. You were saying you don't care about. You call these two warriors bums.
Both of the bums.
No. Juiced up bums. Fuck all that. I'm just here to complain about all the racism in the chat, man. It's just way the fuck out of hand, man. I'm gonna get you guys shut down if you don't shape up.
You know what the problem is, Precise. The problem is there's an Eastern European agenda, and Jack Johnson was oppressed in 1835.
Right.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And it's a problem today in 2019, almost 200.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost 200 years later.
Yeah.
By the way, sorry to
interrupt.
interrupt.
A black president, more black people that are billionaires or wealthy than ever, and
And they were trying to rob Andre Ward. Thank God for that knockout, man. They were trying to rob his ass.
Yeah, thanks for that balls. Not fist to
balls
the balls.
To the wall. Balls to the wall. You had it right the first time, bro.
Julius Caesar had slaves, man. I don't know what to do with myself.
Sorry, I'm trying to test the settings here. Can people hear me?
No,
they can't hear me.
My Spanish ancestry, they own slaves. I mean, I I can't shake this. I want to go over there and kill the Spaniards.
Can you guys hear me?
I'm serious. I just want to go over there and start killing them.
Can you guys hear me, by the way? Because I'm doing some testing here. Can you hear me?
We can now, yes.
All right, can you hear? Tell me what you hear now, all right?
I think about this dude that I fucked last night and how his dick was big and his ass was tight. Sucking on my
All right, so you can hear that, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I could hear that.
You are getting it, for sure.
One never knows when the homosexual is about.
All right, so I think we got that fixed.
How is that legal?
I don't know, man.
All right. I think I fixed the issue. Sorry about that, guys. Keep going. Sorry for interrupting. Keep on going. I'll shut up.
Speaking of racism, I got a joke for you guys. You know what they call the Mexican branch of the Illuminati?
What's that?
What?
Leguminati.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Is there a Puerto Rican version of the Illuminati? I don't think it. I don't think there
give me a few minutes. I'll think of something.
Boricuanati.
The Boricuanatis.
Yeah, there you go.
Yo, you heard about my crew? Nah. Boricuanatis, yo.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Sound like pussies to me. So yeah, man, we're talking about what, Canelo Jacobs, huh?
I guess so.
Who we think is, well, I guess, like I said yesterday, man, this is Canelo's fight to lose.
Gonzalo's picking Jacobs though. He went on a whole rant.
Nice.
On a whole rant how Canelo's overrated and shit. What's up, bro? See, you unmuted yourself.
You know what? This like Jacobs. Ever since
I agree with you, by the way. I agree with you. But go ahead.
Yeah. Ever since 2016, he hasn't knocked anybody out. And when he did to Sergio Mora, he hit the canvas himself. So like this run that he's been on, that we have, I don't know if we've been drinking the Kool-Aid. Now that I had a little bit of time to think about it, because I give him credit, no doubt, with this little run that he's had with the zone. Ever since he left the PBC, he's gotten 4 wins, 3 or 4 wins, but they've been close fights. Even the Luis Arias fight was a lackluster performance.
It's true, bro.
He won that, but yeah,
it's true. But like at the same time, nobody's beaten. What's his face? Zulensky. Nobody's beaten Derevianchenko. They were close fights. Like, we got to keep it real and not overrate Jacobs. But at the same time, no one has fought all the guys that he's fought. And if everybody in the division if everybody fought everybody, they would suck a little bit too, I think, against some of these guys. You know what I mean?
And let's be real. Who's a better opponent for Canelo than Jacobs? That is called Golovkin.
Yeah. He's proven. He's proven, but he's not as good as advertised. That's all.
Yeah,
but
of course not.
He's still arguably number 3 guy in the division.
Yeah, of course not. But like I said, he's number 3 at the moment. I mean, he's definitely got a better resume than Andrade. Billy Joe, he don't know what he wants to do, does he? He's 1 minute he's 174 pounds, then he's middleweight again, then he's super. Oh, I can't be done with that guy. Or he's having warm-up fights. He's like Kell Brook, fucking 15 years of warm-up fights.
Yeah, you know what? See, to me, Jacobs is number 3 in the division, kind of like Deontay Wilder. He's resume, and he gave a good account of himself in the Triple G fight. He lost the fight, but he gave a good account of himself. He won a few rounds, this, that, and the third. So that's kind of like I say, that's kind of the trifecta at middleweight. Like, you got Fury, AJ Wilder. At middleweight, you got Triple G, Canelo, and Jacobs. Bro. Except the difference is they're fighting each other, and the heavyweights don't.
Yeah. And precise. Where I agree with you, because look, I ran this scenario in my mind, in my twisted mind. If Sulecki were to fight Canelo would have a hard fight. Who even knows if he wins? Because Sulecki's a good fighter.
Okay, come on. Now we're excited. I mean, I'm sorry, man.
Canelo knocked Sulecki clean out, mate.
That's the thing. He will knock him out if he got to him. But Sulecki's not. He's got good boxing skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't see that happening.
I don't know.
I like the fact that Gonzalo called his mind a twisted one.
Yeah, I don't think we can underestimate Canelo Alves right now. This guy is a very, very good fighter. I don't care if you hate him because he's a drug cheat or he's got the judges on his side or because he's a ginger Mexican. I don't give a fuck why you hate him. But at the end of the day, if you know anything about boxing, you'll know Canelo Alves is a very good talent. And
No, definitely not. Definitely not. You know, Golovkin has an iron chin. You know, not just because Canelo couldn't knock him out, but I doubt that anybody ever will knock out. Yeah, so he's gonna go down in my mind, in my belief, as one of the greatest chins of all time. But when I think about Canelo and I try to think about his real power, look, this is what I look at. When he knocked out Amir Khan, and what is the other fighter that belongs to
Fielding.
No, not Fielding.
Smith.
Not Fielding.
Liam.
No, not the one that the girl, the lady trainer used to train. The lady trainer used to train. The one that fought Perangulo. He got knocked. Kirkland. James Kirkland. When he fought James Kirkland, look, and he got against James Kirkland and against Amir Khan, he got these really, really impressive highlight reel knockouts. Maybe the best knockouts of the year. I don't know if they won or not, but look, Khan was proven to have a glass chin. And what about Kirkland? Kirkland as well. He was notoriously known for not having a good chin. Okay, but then again, Canelo, when he was younger, he knocked out Tata Baldomir from Argentina.
Yeah.
Baldomir had never been knocked out before, and he did a face plant. So I'm trying to gauge Canelo's power, aside from the body, because we know his body punching is class 1, grade A, top of the line, 9 out of a 10, or maybe 10 out of a 10. You know, as far as body punching, who can compare to Canelo's body punching? Maybe Errol Spence, Regis Prograis, a few fighters here and there.
Well, Golovkin can.
Canelo's definitely a great body puncher.
All right,
but as far as to the head,
I gotta stop
especially
you.
at middleweight.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Go ahead.
No, but I'll just say this. First of all, I gotta get to a couple of things here. First of all, shout out to Gonzalo. He donated via the super chat, and he said Jacobs is gonna make a cringy entrance into the ring. Wait and see. All right, so we got that prediction covered. Shout out to Apology Man as well, who donated to the super chat, and he says, BDA, why do you play that gay ass music every time? Well, because I'm not a bigot like you, Apology. And by the way, you know the rules. You have to wait for your intro before you can speak. So here we go.
Speak of the devil, and it shall appear.
She just wanted the drama and you two to fight over her. That's what women do.
Your punishment must be more severe.
All of you.
Bitches are stupid, I treat them like shit. That's how you get one to eat a dick. Never be sweet to a bitch.
All right, and here's another little soundbite for Apology. I know he's gonna enjoy this one.
So there's two ways this could go, Precious. Kick or kiss. They both end the same. With my dick up your ass.
All right, that's for you, Apology, right there. All right, Apology.
That's a creepy motherfucker, man.
All right. Apology, thank you for being on. It's been a while. What the fuck have you been up to?
Like sorting my life out.
Sorting your life out. All right, that sounds.
Yeah, he stopped hooking up with Gonzalez and burying little innocent Becky's in the woods.
Hey, Apology. You had a question for Gonzalo?
It's not. I don't want to bring it up, but is
right,
Baldomir the one that is accused of having sex with his daughter?
Oh, come
on. Yeah, he's a child molestation.
Are
you serious, man?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I heard one of you brought it up on the podcast once. I forgot who it was. One of you guys brought it up on the podcast once.
Yeah, that's fucking. That's fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, Carlos Costa Baldomir. He had never been knocked out before, and he did a face plant against Canelo. But what do you think, Bucho, at middleweight? Does he have the best power, Canelo? What do you think?
Gonzalo, I was gonna ask you that, or everybody in the panel. Who has Canelo fought at about 160? Only 3 people, man. No, 4. So he's fought Golovkin twice, Chavez Jr. at 164, and Rocky Fielding 168. And so is the power there? I don't know, because Golovkin has a fucking super chin, so he wasn't gonna knock him out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna knock him for that one. You know.
Exactly. And then he stopped Rocky Fielding and Chavez Jr. Well, this guy also has a huge fucking chin, man.
Yeah, he's got a good chin. He was knocked out against
He has
Pampara.
grit in him, though.
Yeah,
No,
but from
he
far
got
up.
knocked out from far up.
Yeah.
Because he was tired in the 11th round, and he basically was he was a weight bully, which felt the the consequences of him going like in the 11th round. He got knocked out because of fatigue. But against Miguel Cotto, who showed good leg movement, I'm almost tempted to say this fight's going to decision. Because Cotto
Yeah,
displayed
same.
good leg movement laterally, and he was able to be dexterous with his legs and put up a good performance and move around. Although he lost a close, decision, but Canelo wasn't able to knock out a 154 pounder and Miguel
Yeah,
Cotto.
I
Yeah,
agree.
but
I agree,
Just get in
Gonzalo.
it quickly, because it's the fanboyism of Triple G in the chat is driving me insane. I mean, you guys seriously get a girlfriend, get a hobby. Move away from your love for another man. It is absolutely pathetic. You're sitting there discrediting Canelo, just bigging up Golovkin like he's Bruce Banner, and talking about Canelo like he's a fucking bum. Talking about his resume. Yeah, Canelo has a better resume than Golovkin. He's fought much better fighters. So I'm a Golovkin fan, but I can't just sit here and just listen to bullshit just because you're a fanboy of some guy, man. And
Who's Bruce Banner?
if you're gonna Bruce Banner's the Incredible Hulk.
Oh.
But, if you're going to discredit Canelo, then we have to start discrediting Golovkin because you just lost to the guy. So, just keep it real, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Stu, what does it matter when every fight is pretty much fixed?
So again,
No,
what does his record matter if every fight is fixed? Like he has
To
a
be
judge
honest-
in his corner, he has all this
listen,
arbitration clause. Like, come on.
Apology. You could fix a fight with Golovkin. Don't mean you're going to last more than 2 rounds. You've got to be good enough to last. This is what I mean. All this fixing, all these judges. This Canelo's good enough to fucking make it close, to make it where you can fucking rob.
I'm not saying he's good enough, but like I wouldn't put him highly. I wouldn't rate him highly at the moment.
If it's all about the fix, right? If it's all about the fix, then you could get someone like fucking Malignaggi and put him in there with Golovkin and get a win. You're not going to be able to do that because Malignaggi's going to be sleeping for a win.
Like basically, yeah. I mean, Canelo does show skills besides the judges or whatever.
Of course, but I'm not going to rate him highly. I'm sick of him, honestly. He's pulling another. He's becoming Floyd Mayweather. He's becoming Floyd Mayweather. Like,
yeah, that's the thing.
But see that again.
Well, okay, go ahead. Recognize. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna look. I was just gonna say, if you believe that that the fights are fixed in his favor, and that's the best he can do against Golovkin, then I understand where apology is coming from. He's thinking really highly of Triple G, and not too highly, or at least not as high as Triple G when it comes to Canelo. I don't have a problem with him saying this is what I think. I think that's perfectly normal if you feel that way. I just look at it totally. I kind of look at it 2 ways. Look, I already know. I don't need your confirmation. Triple G is one of the greatest fighters I've ever seen. Period. Okay, he's gonna go. I don't need your confirmation for that. I also think that Canelo is a great fighter. Do I think he has A-side advantages in and outside the ring? Yes, I do. But I do think he's a great fighter.
Yeah. Look, apology. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree totally with what Recognize is saying. But to your point, look, I honestly believe. Look, Austin Trout, he beat Miguel Cotto. He won a close decision. He also beat.
Of course.
Now to the most controversial fight of all against Lara. Lara was on the back foot. He wouldn't get into the fire zone into Canelo's wheelhouse because he was going to get hit with that uppercut. And it was a close fight, and I gave it to Canelo based on his aggression and coming forward. So I undoubtedly believe he won that. Look, the second Golovkin fight, I think he edged it out because all the bullshit that Abel Sanchez was talking about, if he goes there and fights, he's going to get knocked out. He put it on the table, and what? Canelo did exactly just that, and if it's going to be close, okay, we got to give it to Canelo, or at least you cannot complain about it because they're the ones that called it. Now, the only one that I screamed robbery, and it wasn't even a victory for Canelo, was the first Golovkin fight, which was a draw. I mean, how many fighters have not got the benefit of the doubt? Did not Jacobs get the benefit of the doubt against Sulecki? Obviously, because this catapulted him into the present time we're now, where he's gonna, he's in a super fight. Obviously, it's about money. But anyhow, when people, go ahead, Bucho.
Let Apology say something because he wanted to say something. Go ahead, Apology.
Yeah, I agree, but it's just his attitude I don't like. Like, he's good, but why does he need all of these advantages? Like, I can recognize skill, and he has skill, but he needs all these advantages for what reason? Like, he beat most of the guys you were saying, and yet he still needs that extra backup plan just in case. So what does that tell you about his mentality?
He definitely he has a chin, and he's got boxing skills. It's like you're never gonna get that for free. Look, and plus being the A side, the money guy, that's given to you. I mean, if you decide to complain about that or not, I mean, I'm not saying that I agree totally with what Canelo has been or done, because I mean, look, literally, I just have to say, what Canelo lied about the clenbuterol. This is how I gather he lied. When he was younger, there was a fighter in the name of Archie Solis that he beat up, a flyweight. Because of his girlfriend back in his hometown in Guadalajara. He was Coloradito Solis's brother. Archie Solis, these two guys were world champions. Well, when he was young, he stole Archie Solis's girlfriend, and guess what? He lied on TV Azteca. He blatantly lied, and he said that didn't happen. So, what are you gonna find two redheads and somewhere that look alike with freckles that you're gonna say, this is the wrong identity that I'm gonna blame Canelo for doing that? And Canelo came out on TV and blatantly said, as innocent as he looks, he said, no, it wasn't me. So when you tell me that he didn't take clenbuterol, I'm just gonna have to say maybe I doubt that because he showed in the past to lie. But many people don't know that as casual fans in the United States. But in other words, I'm siding with you, and I agree about the advantages, illegal or illegal advantages. But what it is right now. You can't, like Stu was saying, you can't pin it on Canelo because you're gonna automatically assume that they're gonna favor him because we can't just go into boxing thinking like that because it's sour grapes. It spoils the moment. And evidence has shown in the past that doesn't always happen. But once we cross that bridge, we can talk about it if it does happen. But until then, if Jacobs wants to cry out, "Oh, wait, bully! I'm fighting Canelo and the judges." Well, look, he's got two close decisions against Devrichenko and Sulecki. But again, if you are not comfortable at 160, kick rocks and go to 168. But don't go in there already with premeditated excuses that you're not going to give the best of yourself, and you're kind of almost leaving it on the table because what are you saying? I'm not going to go in there to win. I'm not even going to go in there to knock him out. That's it.
Go ahead.
We're comparing middleweights, right? The whole like say pound for pound list, like Canelo, Triple G are like neck and neck. Like you can put Canelo because he technically won, but if we're gonna compare, people are gonna compare this performance to the Triple G performance, and Triple G didn't need any advantages. So that's my point. If we're gonna put this guy on the pound for pound list and say he's all that great, why does he need to then load his gloves? Why does he need to use all these drugs and have all these advantages? Why can't you just let Jacobs rehydrate where he wants to rehydrate? And I still will favor Canelo. If Jacobs comes in at 190, I will still favor him.
Yeah, but 190 pounds. I mean, what's the point of having weight divisions? You might as well have a fucking free for all, like no holds barred.
Stu, let me ask you a question. Do you think Jacobs would still win on 190 pounds? I think he'll be arguably worse.
He wouldn't get knocked out. He wouldn't get knocked out.
Rehydrate.
It makes a lot of difference in the hold. Makes a lot of difference punch resistance. Yes, it's going to slow him down a little bit. But Canelo's a small guy, of course it's going to help him. 15 pounds is going to help anybody. I mean, when is it going to get ridiculous? When we've got fucking people coming in at 200 pounds? I mean, I think 175. If Jacobs is struggling to make 175 pounds on fight night, he's got no business in middleweight division anyway.
Why does Jacob
need to wait? But why handicap him?
But why does? But hold on. You were asking. Hold on. Apology. You were asking what?
Yeah, go ahead.
You were asking why Canelo needed all those advantages. Obviously, he shouldn't be getting them. But then again, why does Jacob need the 190 pound advantage, basically?
Because we're going to compare him to Triple G. We're comparing these two middleweights. Like I said, they're pound for pound, basically neck and neck. In my opinion, you can put Canelo over. If Canelo wants to be a great
I bet
fighter, he's
Precise
gonna
knows
have
more
to.
about this, but
look,
He's gonna have
Jacobs is not
to
breaking any
do.
rules.
Hey, hold on, Precise. Go ahead.
Jacob's not breaking any rules. It's Canelo who's imposing his own
Exactly.
personal rules, which is not fair. Like the rules should be objectively determined by an authority. So and let's not act like Canelo didn't have a huge weight advantage when he was fighting at welterweight or 154 even. Like he played the game too, and yeah, he got played by Floyd, but for me, Canelo has the potential to be a great fighter, but because he is handicapping his opponents, just like Floyd, just like Anthony Joshua, to me, that's not a sign of a great fighter. I never see him having to go through adversity. Now, you could say he went through adversity in the Golovkin fight, fair enough, but he was juiced and he had loaded gloves, and he couldn't lose on the cards anyway. So it's
Yeah, but
like,
what about the second fight? Was he juiced in that one?
of course he was. He took clenbuterol.
What in the second one?
Of course he did. That shit lasts. The effects of juicing last with you for like a year.
Well,
So of course he was juiced. Yeah, of course he was juiced.
So wait,
And
no one's gonna. No, I'm not. And then I'm not fucking supporting him for his drug use or anything like that. I'm just talking about talent, what I see with my eyes. Steroids are all well and good. You can have the best steroids in the world, but if you've got no fucking talent, it just doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's like, loads of steroids in me. What you think I'm going to go in there and become a world champion?
Yeah,
Right?
Stu, I agree with you. I think, especially that point you just made, the whole steroids thing. Like you see in the UFC, especially,
yeah,
like the whole steroids and how like it doesn't make a difference. It's about your talent. Like Canelo definitely does have talent, but I just don't like because I saw it with Floyd, and I just don't like his attitude.
Yeah,
And
of course, bro. Of course, at the end of the day, Canelo is
wanting
getting
to fight clean.
Yeah, Canelo's doing what Mayweather did, and I used to give Mayweather stick for it. So of course, I don't respect that. Canelo's he's like a little child that always gets his own way, and and he's got the judges on his side. I'm not, I'm calling a spade here. But then you lot be the same and admit that you see talent in front of you. Because if Canelo's not a good fighter, we don't have many good fighters in boxing. Period. Because there's not many guys better than this guy right now. And like I said, John Jones, even John Jones without steroids is the best. So steroids make you.
I don't know much about MMA, but I agree with that, Stu. That kind of fighting that I've seen from him. Now I don't know where he's at right now. I don't know where he's
skills, man.
The skills that I look at it. I look at UFC and MMA and all that stuff as an ultimate street fight. Like that's the one guy I look at and I say, man, that must be a scary dude to fight. Like John Jones. I'm sure there's plenty of other guys that we could say the same thing about. I'm sure, but like the way he could fucking turn around and elbow your fucking head off, it's just like insane. This dude is crazy.
Like steroids don't help you throw a body punch. Doesn't help you like pivot or like set up punches. It doesn't help your fight IQ. So it's about the talent at the end of the day.
It doesn't give you a granite chin either.
Yeah,
I think the point that Apology and Precise was saying, I just agree with it. Look, I agree with a lot of it. It's not a knock so much on Canelo because Canelo is playing the system. We live in a world of instant gratification. Like we want him to be great right now, right this second. We want him to be the best, right? So of course, like there's going to be A-side advantages. That's what's happening, That's what's happening with these fighters. Canelo saw how that worked against Floyd Mayweather. He saw how they sort of compromised him at the weigh-in, and I believe that Canelo was totally clean for the most part of his training. Maybe he took a little something at the end. I don't know if that can really help him in a fight. Where for a fact that Floyd Mayweather, who admitted he was blood doping, basically is what he admitted to, So, that's the way the game is played. And so he saw it when he was the B side, and now he wants to use it as the A side. And by the way, in my opinion, they still almost, this is just my opinion. I thought that they try to show at least to Floyd Mayweather that, look, Canelo will be the A side because the scorecards were a little closer. At least one judge had it 6 rounds apiece, which I disagree with. But yeah, like this is the game. This is how it's being played. So I don't have a problem with guys saying, look, I don't really legitimately think of him higher than when you compare him to a guy like Triple G, if they feel that Triple G is high on that list because he's actually fighting guys at a disadvantage, or at least the guys are at their very best. I do agree with Precise and Apology about the possibility of Jacobs not being as 100% ready and everything that he needs to go up against Golovkin than he will against Canelo Alvarez.
The thing is, recognise everyone on this fucking show, especially in the chat, went crazy at Danny Jacobs being 190 pounds a night. They've not let him forget about that
I
moment.
agree. I agree.
Yeah, all of a sudden. But
he broke the rules. The difference was he broke the rules in that fight. He's not breaking the rules in this fight.
Golovkin should have been smarter. Golovkin should never have allowed Jacobs to fucking do that to him. And Canelo's not going to make the same mistakes. I mean, there's someone in the chat saying steroids make decent fighters into great fighters. But if that's the case, then no. Well, listen, Baby Miller is probably the worst case of.
No, I don't agree. Go ahead.
Is this guy a great fighter? This guy's injecting all sorts of stuff in him. He makes Ivan Drago look clean. And yet, is this guy a great fighter? No. He's fucking useless.
I mean,
you know he is.
Yeah,
but
think about it.
he's going to get
Everyone's
knocked the
using.
fuck out by a bum in his next fight. Or maybe down the line, when the drugs wear off, he's going to be that much worse. Of course, PEDs make you much better. Of course they do. That's why they take them. I mean, this is just what it is. But, like, as far as people can have their opinion on Canelo, whatever. I criticize Floyd for being a diva. Like, I would be a hypocrite not to criticize Canelo. This is just my standard. When fighters do these certain things, I'm going to give them credit. I'm going to say this is what they're doing, and it's bitch made, and they deserve credit for all the bitch made shit that they're doing, which doesn't mean that he's not a great fighter, but there are always going to be asterisks by his wins. He's giving you the opportunity to criticize him, which he doesn't have to do, but it's his choice. So
Yeah.
I'm taking an opportunity to criticize him. That's all.
Yeah,
I agree, but
there's
well,
go ahead, Lucho.
Well, I was just gonna say that, of course, there's asterisks in because the judges are on his side. He's probably taking PDs or took PDs, and we don't know when, which fights he was on PDs or not. But the thing is, you can. What I think Stu and I and Gonzalo are saying is that maybe recognize as well. I mean, the skills are there, and you can tell, man, and that's good. That's not really PDs, man. I mean, the head movement, you know what I mean, the timing, and all of those things. Those are not.
They're world class skills that peds don't teach you. You know,
they help, bro. They help because you could take stimulants and they help you concentrate. Like, come on, you guys never taken Adderall or some of these other drugs?
Yeah, but you just at what point?
Huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, they just help you be sharper. They will give you a better chin, better punch resistance. You're gonna be punching harder. You're gonna take body shots better. Of course, they help. Now, is it like a difference that's gonna make a bum into a world champ? No, but it's gonna make the difference in a 50-50 fight in your favor, where you're going life and death with the guy, and then when you're juiced up, you're knocking him out. Of course,
this is all based on the PD on the clenbuterol result, correct?
I used to sell fucking Adderall to kids at college. Help me stay up.
This is what.
Yeah, clenbuterol, but Bucho, no one takes just clenbuterol.
No, I understand.
It's always part of a stack.
Yeah,
it's always part of a stack. Like, no one just takes one drug.
Yeah, okay. What I'm saying is, based on that, now he's always gonna be on PDs potentially. Is that what we're saying? That we're gonna assume that he was on it before and after.
Well, because now he probably got a TUE. They got smart about it, and he got a therapeutic use exemption because that's what A-sides do. That's what Anthony Joshua is doing. Like that. I don't know if Gonzalo sent you guys that video that he sent me, but people started investigating into Anthony Joshua's TUEs.
I don't even need to. I'm sorry, Precise. Go ahead.
No, I mean it's true. Like, we all suspected, but the ball right now.
Just look at him,
UCAD not releasing his data, his information. I don't know if you guys know the story. Like, do I need to break it down, or are you guys familiar with what's going on?
Go ahead. Well,
okay, so basically, these reporters send out a request to UCAD because they wanted to see Anthony Joshua's TUEs if he has any. Obviously, they can't release any of that because it's private medical information. But the ball is now in Anthony Joshua's corner because he could just step up and release that. He could give permission and release that information, right? So if he's not taking any TUEs, why wouldn't he jump all over the opportunity to just say, here you go, guys. Here's my medical data. Go suck it, right? It's not going to prove that he's a clean fighter, but it's going to give his haters a big fucking middle finger, and a lot of people are going to think he is a clean fighter. So it makes sense for him to release that information. Is he going to do it?
Well, I don't know.
I tell you what, though.
You see. This is the problem. I'm sorry. Did I jump in front of anybody?
No, go ahead, man. I'm done.
Okay, no, this is the problem that I have. The same thing Precise just brought up. Now, I don't know the story, but look, I could just use the eye test, bro. And Anthony Joshua, I'm willing to bet $1 million. Okay, I'm willing to bet everything I have, and somebody put up at least $1 million. That if there was a way to get the 100% truth out of it, I bet you Anthony Joshua's on something. I don't care personally if he is. I think they all should be on something. The only problem that I have is that if I'm going to be limited, I'm limiting my opponent from preparing himself if that's PEDs, right? If I'm going to limit him that. Look, I told you guys on this chat before that when I work out, I still work out. Look, I'm a 46-year-old man. I love to drink coffee. I cannot work out the way I do without drinking some coffee. It just boosts me up. It gives me the stimulant. Maybe it's mental at the same time. I don't work out the same. I tried it, and it doesn't work. Now, I know a guy like Precise who knows a lot about this stuff probably thinks that coffee's not good in the long run, and I get that. But when it comes to working out, that's my thing. That's I need that. If somebody, let's just say I go into a competition with some guy of who could work out better and who could work out longer, and he says, "Well, you can't drink your coffee." I'm at a tremendous disadvantage. Let's say he's on steroids, right? And that's his thing. He feels comfortable taking steroids. I don't. Like I told you guys, I don't feel comfortable taking that stuff. There's a little fear for whatever reason. I took creatine one time, and the creatine was fucking with my heart. Like,
are you serious, man? I take that,
bro. Yeah, no, I don't know what it was. Maybe I didn't need it. I don't know what.
Oh,
it was.
man, recognize
No,
with the
joking.
drug when he was in a boxing ring. He could have killed. Recognize could have killed someone in the boxing ring. Disgraceful.
That's right. That's true. That gosh darn coffee, man.
Here's my. If somebody took if they took that away from me, my coffee, right, and said let's go into competition, and he's taking whatever, I may lose to him if he would allow me to be on coffee and he's on something stronger, but I'm definitely gonna lose without it. That's what I have a problem with.
But are we not going to give fighters the benefit of the doubt until they get caught? I mean, we was accusing the Baby Miller of being roided up on this channel for a year ago, so it's no surprise to any of us. But we still gave him the benefit of the doubt. It's like Anthony Joshua. VADA tested him, and he's passing the test. So it's a bit, innocent till proven guilty. I think they deserve that.
Do you know what a TUE is?
I'm like I said, when it comes to steroids, you school me every day of the week. I'm not a steroid
No, I'm just
man.
saying, but this is what could potentially be going on.
But does that count? Does that count?
Then why ain't Canelo using the same stuff Joshua is? He's got more money than Joshua, that's for sure. So why ain't he using?
But the point is that these guys could legally get away without ever getting busted, get away with using PEDs. Because TUE is a therapeutic use exemption. So they go to the doctor after like a really hard workout or something, or they give them a shot of some drug that's going to lower their testosterone for the day. They go to the doctor takes their testosterone reading and it's low, and they prescribe them exogenous testosterone, which is steroids. Then on top of that, they can, boost up that prescription illegally, and the VADA's never going to know. How are they going to be able to tell the difference? Because, they're not going to know how much he's putting in his body. They're just going to see exogenous testosterone in there. And it's okay for him to have synthetic testosterone, roids in his blood.
If it's so simple, bro, if it's so simple, then why didn't Baby Miller do that? Why didn't all the other guys that have been popped do it?
I mean, you got to have the money. You got to have the money. You got to know, shady.
Yeah, but Canelo Alvarez got popped. You telling me he don't have the money? Tell me, if it's that simple, then other fighters would be doing it. That's what I'm saying. I understand
they are doing it. It's just they're just catching on to it because there was like a big scandal Russian Bears exposed the whole American and a lot of different other countries Olympic teams for having TUEs for drugs, all kinds of drugs. So now boxing is always like 10, 20 years behind, and they're always catching up. So that's why Big Baby Miller is talking about TUEs, because this is the new frontier in boxing. Now they're all going to be getting these TUEs, and I'm speculating that's what Canelo did, and maybe not for clenbuterol, because but there are similar substances. Like if they for some reason find that he has asthma, now he can use the same shit basically. So it's like these guys could get away with whatever, and all it takes is a little bit of money. And why did Big Baby Miller not get a TUE? You can't get a TUE for HGH, man. He was just dumb.
My question.
You can't get a TUE for EPO. That's just no way. Go ahead, man. Sorry.
No, it's okay. My question is, speaking of Canelo's blood, how much of it is Irish and how much of it is Mexican? That's what I'm curious about. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of Irish people in Mexico.
No, I'm just clowning around.
An ex-president, Del Obregón, his real name was O'Brien.
I wanted to ask something.
It's really true. There's a lot of Mexican blood in Mexico.
I wanted to ask: do they still allow that TUEs in Las Vegas? Because I remember they made a big deal about that in the UFC, about how all these fighters were on testosterone replacement therapy, and all of a sudden they made it illegal. So can they still allow guys to?
Not in the UFC. But that's a UFC rule. Does Vegas Commission, do they have that? I don't know, man. But this is what it is. What I'm saying, this is like this is a wild, wild west right now as far as boxing goes. All these rules are like being determined right now, and guys are finding like they're always trying to be one step ahead of the system, right? The laws are always like chasing the criminals, always trying to catch up. So the smartest guys with the most money, like they could be ahead of everybody else, and that gives them an unfair advantage, which is why, this whole PED shit, Vada just needs to fuck off and leave boxing alone, man. But it's never going to happen because it's too much money. But
you ever heard that saying, if you're going to go into war with me, you better have your money up?
Yeah, I have. I have recognized.
So that's a very true statement. I mean, it works for boxing. It works for anything. It works for sports, competition, anything, man.
So now take this, for example, going back to like judging how great a fighter is. Anthony Joshua gets in the ring with Povetkin, and we know Povetkin's clean, right? Because they've been fucking testing that dude's blood every day of the week. So we know he's clean. And if Anthony Joshua is taking a TUE, I mean, like that's just fucked up. If he has a TUE and he's taking exogenous testosterone and his opponent is clean, that's just bitch made. You know what I mean? There's no way in hell that, and I'm not saying he has a TUE or not, but he has a chance to prove me wrong, right? But there's no way in hell Anthony Joshua, man, that's not even in his prime yet. What is he, 26 or something? There's no way in hell he's got low.
Yeah, 28.
Yeah, no way he's got low testosterone or like a medical condition that he needs all these, PEDs to quote unquote cure him. There's just no way in hell he needs to be taking anything like that. And if his testosterone is so goddamn low, then maybe he shouldn't be fighting. If he's not naturally fit enough to be a boxer, then maybe he shouldn't be a boxer.
Has it come out that he's got low testosterone then? Testosterone, sorry. Has it come out?
Right. Well, no, but like,
no.
I'm saying, I'm speculating. I have no idea about Joshua whatsoever, right? But because he looks juicy, I think it's fair to speculate. And
he looks juicy.
And so fucking gay, man.
Because he looks delicious. He looks delicious. He looks
new intro.
He's a juicy boy.
What Varda gaining by leaving Joshua B and stitching up Canelo and everyone else? Varda seemed to be going after everyone. Why would they leave the Brit alone?
But they don't have a say. It doesn't. He has a TUE. They can go kick rocks. They can't do anything to him.
I'll get what you
right. He has an exemption.
Salma Hayek looks juicy.
Yeah, listen. The point is this.
In her prime.
In her prime. The point is this, man. Because this was all started about what Bucho said, whether we have to assume that Canelo is juice. Listen, we've talked about it ad nauseum in this podcast. Assume all the top fighters are on something. Just assume that, and we'll be all right. Now, the point is this: Jacobs survived cancer. He was walking around looking like Moby. All of a sudden now he's got 15, 20 pounds of extra muscle. I'm telling you, this guy. If you had to,
it's fucking heartless, man.
like, listen, if you put a gun to my head or a cock in my rear end, I don't know, and you tell, listen, you gotta fucking.
Oh man.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool
I know
with
you're
that, right?
not. And by the way, if anybody,
BDA, I'm getting worried about you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been worried about you.
well,
but
you
go
know
ahead,
what?
BD.
If any of you, any of you fellas have anything against me, take it up with my lawyer, Rifle Shapiro. He finally asked me to put up. He asked me to put up a picture of him in the stream. So here it is. Here's the photograph. If anybody wants to look at it on the screen right there, that's Rifle Shapiro right there, the one and only.
Yo, BDA.
Yes.
But this is not nothing new in this case that it just recently
Gonzalez.
changed. This is nothing new with Jacobs because he has the IBF belt and didn't he have to make the weight class for the Deryachenko fight?
I don't know. You know I don't follow this shit, man. Come on.
Yeah, I think he did.
He looks
Yeah,
like Moby.
I think he did, Bucho. So this is why he's just only crying because this fight he wants to come in like he did against Golovkin when he dumped the IBF belt.
Yeah,
When,
yeah, he
when,
did.
when,
Yeah, he
yeah,
did.
he
Yeah, he
dumped
done
it,
that.
and now when he got it himself, Stu, he got the IBF. He had to, in order to fight for it when it was vacant against Deryachenko, he had to make the weight class, I believe.
Yeah, well, that's
So
what
it's nothing new to him.
The IBF have a. What's that noise? The IBF have a £10 weight clause. So I mean that's.
All right, recognize. You gotta mute your mic, man. You're in the streets right now. We can't
Yes,
hear.
Stu, but I think that just recently changed. So I mean, it just recently changed,
Yeah,
like
do you know what? Do you
a
know
few
why they
months
changed?
ago.
Do you know why they changed it, Gonzalo? Because a lot of fighters were actually passing up on the opportunity to fight for the IBF title. Have you noticed when you see IBF mandatories, they're going down the list and they're dragging up these bums from the grave, aren't they? Because no one actually wants to step in. No one actually wants the IBF belt because when you have it, you have to stick to the weight clause of £10, which is hard to do when you're Errol Spence and you're fucking walking around at £185. So, you know, well, I would say. I would say Spence is 185, but I bet he's 175. Do you know what I mean? Walking around.
Or you could just drop the IBF like Mikey and duck everybody. That can happen as well.
So I don't necessarily call Canelo a cheater because of the weight class because that just changed for that one belt. But like, where in history have you seen a middleweight contest for a title against a guy that's super bigger than him? When it's on the line like that, let's say like a Pacquiao fighting a smaller guy fighting a bigger guy for a title. Like back in the days when there was only 8 divisions, guys were relatively the same weight. And in recent history, I don't know about the 70s, 80s, or the night. I don't know. Just going back in the past, before this weight bully thing got into like, people started talking about it. Was there ever a fight where a middleweight fought this like
Yeah, I don't
bigger guy
remember,
and
man.
yeah.
But I don't know. You gotta go back through history. I mean, I don't know.
Stanley Ketchel versus Jack Johnson.
So basically, what I'm saying, is like, no, I think, the Sugar Ray Robinson competed for like against a bigger guy and he lost. In other words, this doesn't. To me, it's not a big. It's a little asterisk because the rules are the rules, or you could call it a technicality. But I mean, it's not like where you can say, oh, fuck, he's getting something his way that it's like an unfair advantage because we have never really seen it before. I mean, the guys, if he keeps I can also see it the other way. Look, if he's crying about the weight class, then who wants the advantage? Jacobs wants the advantage.
Yeah,
not
but
Canelo.
people are gonna say it's a legal advantage, so he has the right to do that.
He's playing the system because he should just.
Well, I
kick
know.
rocks and
Yeah, I
go.
know. I understand.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Johnny
That's all.
boy.
No, I was just yeah. I'll tell you what this is. You don't have any rights, like George Carlin told you. There's no rights. There's no fucking rights. Either you're right or you're wrong.
That's true.
And like Precise was saying, I get what Precise. I get both sides of the coin here. Precise, there's a flip side to that coin, but I get what Precise was saying by why give me a chance to criticize you when I don't have to. And I also get what Stu was saying about, the kid's Canelo's obviously got fucking world class skills. So I see both sides of the argument here. I don't think anybody's right or wrong in this case. You know what I'm saying? And Yeah, he's a fucking juicer, but I mean, it is what it is. He's the A side, bro. Like shit happens, man. So I can see both sides of the argument here. That's all I was gonna say.
One last thing I want to add, just to end it, as far as I'm concerned, to apology. When he said that Gennady Golovkin never got anything his way, it's historically, I mean, with him in his career, that's what's happened to him, especially since the European fighters just came into the scene about 10 years, 15 years ago, about 10 years ago. They've had to fight that. I mean, I know it happened to Marvin Hagler, you know, back in the 80s. And I don't know if it was a race thing or if it was just like Golovkin.
No, no, it
They're
wasn't.
just
It
such a
wasn't a
good
race thing.
fighter. No, I know, I know. I'm just putting it
It
out there,
wasn't.
but I think they're just so good of a fighter. They're such great of a fighters that's why people avoided him. They can use this excuse here or the LDBC or just to make a point about why we want to criticize and not give this guy the credit. But to be fair, did Golovkin ever get inside advantages in anywhere throughout his career? No, they've always fought him against, giving him a fair shake in anything. So that's why
Well, wait, but
sometimes we can be mad at
where
that.
did
He
Golovkin?
got a fair share against Jacobs. He won that
Yeah,
fight.
well,
He,
no. I'm
he,
gonna say something too, just quickly,
oh,
and maybe you can answer these questions too. When did Golovkin get any? When did he need any advantages? That's the thing is he never went to a decision. You know what I mean? So
Exactly. Yeah, there you
maybe
go.
he had
and
the
that's what
judges
you
on
got
his
to
side.
do. You have to take it. And when you're fighting these A-side guys like Joshua and Canelo, money machines, there's only one way to take them off the pedestal and take their crown off them, and that's knock them out cold. There's no points decisions here. You are not going to go in there and think you can do a Floyd Mayweather performance and go away with the titles. It's not going to happen. You have to fucking get in the pocket and throw bombs and hope one lands clean. And even if the ref stops the fight through accumulation of punches or something like that, that's what you got to look for. You can't be going to look to beat Canelo on points. It's the same with Andy Ruiz. When he fights Joshua, he's not going to win on the cards.
But is that fair competition, Stu?
Mate, boxing. When has boxing been fair? It's the most corrupt sport. It's bottom of the barrel. We all know that.
100% agree with you. I 100, and I
It
still
is a
love the sport,
sport, brother.
and I still love the sport because of it. I still
Yeah,
love
of
it.
course. It's been bred in us. I've had boxing in my life since I was 5 years old. My dad used to let me stay up to watch. Well, he let me stay up to watch Hagler v Leonard in 1986, I believe it was. And I'll just put this. I'm not going to tell you my age, but I weren't very old. So boxing's been in my life. So I'll watch this garbage, even though I'm not seeing the good fights, even though I'm seeing corruption. I'm seeing people like Canelo and Joshua, get everything go their way. Of course, I know what boxing's about, but I just have to accept it. And Jacobs, Jacobs can, like I said, it doesn't matter about judges, it doesn't matter about anything else. If you get the stoppage, no one can take it away from you. It don't matter how good you are, how much of an A side star you are. You get knocked out on the canvas, you lose your belts, and that's the beauty of boxing. It
That's
can
why.
happen.
That's why I love certain boxers like throughout history, like Hagler, like Triple G, like Pacquiao. These are guys that understood. Look, I gotta fucking knock this dude out, right?
Yeah.
So whoever it is, they may have not always gotten it, right? They may have not always gotten it, but you damn know for sure they were going for it. And
Yeah.
this is what boxing casuals don't understand. They just look at the record, bro. They look at the wins and the losses, and that's to them and the official decision. They don't care about the content of the fight. One guy is clearly running, like you said, Stu, like Floyd Mayweather fucking running around the ring, and he gets the decision, and these guys think that they're in Floyd's position for whatever reason, maybe because they know him and they think that's gonna work for them. And it's not gonna work for them.
Yeah, and
Because they're not Floyd Mayweather.
recognize it actually ruined a generation of American fighters because they all come out thinking they were two Bob versions of Floyd. They all thought look at Broner. They all thought they were Floyd, but they just couldn't fight like him. They tried to nick wins and take his least damage and scam the public out of millions of dollars. They tried that like Floyd, but they just couldn't get the results of Floyd. Floyd had already built that name by beating De La Hoya and people like that years ago. And there was an open market for Floyd. When Floyd came along on the pay, boxing was there wasn't really many stars around.
I got something to add to that, Stu. I got something to add to that real quick. Like you just said, he fucked up the whole generation for the American fighters because now it's let me get a hold of a title, milk it, some random title that I get fucking gifted. Let me milk it. I'll stay undefeated and fight jack shit. And and somehow I think I'm entitled to 45 mega fights. That's
That's a good
exactly right,
point.
Stu.
That's a good point, man. Because the other day, I don't know if you guys saw that yesterday, I was scouring the boxing scene message boards. And also, when you listen to other channels, they don't really talk about boxing. They just talk about the outside of the ring stuff, the gossiping and everything. And they always say the same thing. They always say, well, this guy needs to get a belt first before he can fight, Terence Crawford or Earl Spence. I'm thinking a belt. You already know the belts are worthless for the most part. Yeah, they can make a guy a bit more money, but doesn't make him a better fighter. The belt doesn't make the fighter nowadays. It's the other way around. So when people go like that,
Yeah.
like, oh, he's got a belt.
Yeah.
He needs a belt. Who cares
Did
about
you
that?
shut their mouths, man?
Yeah.
You know what? This is the thing for me. Salute McGregor. I see your comment, but this is the thing for me, BDA. Okay, I don't give a fuck what belts you have. I don't give a fuck how many belts and how many divisions you won. The bottom line for me is, who the fuck are you fighting? Who are
Exactly.
you fighting? That's what it comes down to. I don't care if how many times you lost this, that, whether you're undefeated. Like Mikey Garcia, he's won belts in 4 different divisions and beaten jack shit. Adrian Broner, same thing. He's fucking. It doesn't matter how many divisions you won some fucking random belt off a tomato can against. The bottom line to me is, who the fuck have you fought?
Well, that's it. I mean, like, if you're a boxing fan, you shouldn't care about the belt. It's like Teofimo Lopez, sorry, it's in Lomachenko. Now, I want to see that fight. I don't care if Lopez hasn't got a belt. That's a fight I want to see. Sometimes, because you get a lot of chumps that hold belts. You got a lot of chumps. Just because someone's got a belt doesn't mean you really want to see a fight. There's a lot of champions that got no business at holding that title. Someone like Lopez, loud, cocky. I want to see him get knocked out. So yeah, I want to see that fight. And so sometimes belts. Like I said, belts to make a good fight. You don't need 2 guys with belts.
The best one, Stu, is with. This is the best one that fucking kills me the most. With Tank Davis. Okay, they'll just hear me out for a second. I don't want to change subjects or anything, but Tank Davis won the title off Pedraza, right? He lost it on the scale. He won it back against some fucking scrub. Now they call him a 2-time world champion. Like, suck my dick, bro. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. Like, no, man.
Yeah, but a lot of these guys that they have like 3-4 division champions. It's not like they didn't even clean out these divisions. They won some little belt off some chump, defended it a couple of times, and moved up a division. So it's not like they fought even the best guys in the division. It's not like they were.
Yeah, exactly.
At least with Crawford, he unified. He was undisputed. He had all the belts. So you can give Crawford. A lot of these guys, they just hung around. Had a couple of defenses against chumps, and then moved up, and then nicked a belt off some other chump. And it's embarrassing. Some of these go through some of the champions. I mean, Leo Santa Cruz. He can go up to heavyweight tomorrow, and guaranteed he'll get a shot at Joshua next. This guy, he gets a shot at everyone. You don't. I mean, certain fighters don't even. It's like Andre Ward. How did he get to #1 position to fight Kovalev? I think he fought Barrera. I think he had one fight with Barrera.
Sullivan Barrera.
Yeah, he fought Barrera, and all of a sudden he's the #1 contender for Kovalev. I mean, it's the promoters, mate. They feed these organisations a few back.
You know what?
Fighters in pole positions.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Stu. Sorry.
No, go on, man. I'm finished.
No, but I was gonna say, yeah. Like I think it might have been Precise or me or somebody. There's a big difference between being the champion, the man in the division. The dude nobody's fucking with right now. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between being the man in the division, like Kovalev was, like Triple G was, like Lomachenko is at lightweight right now, than just being a fucking title holder. There's a big difference between being a title holder and like the man of the weight class. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because is anyone really calling Canelo Alvarez a super middleweight champion after taking the belt off Rocky Phil?
Exactly.
No, of course not.
Oh God, no.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people have Canelo top 3 pound for pound, but that is dependent upon whether you gave him the wins over Triple G. So, but now he is fighting Daniel Jacobs, who I think is at his peak right now, very dangerous fighter. If Canelo wins this fight and does so impressively, does he go up in the pound for pound ratings, or does he stay at about number 3, number 4? What do you guys think?
I think he stays the same. I think he needs to definitively beat Triple G and then have like one more good win. And then I think he'll move up because he's still like 1-on-1 with Triple G. Plus, he needs this win against Jacobs and needs to look good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell
I
you
think
what.
you could move up the pound for pound list by default. In other words, like guys just start dropping off in performance. You know,
Yeah, like Crawford.
you're pretty like a straight line when it comes to yours, meaning that you're still winning fights, but maybe you're not winning any more impressive than the last fight. You get what I'm saying in terms of opponent and how you won. So you could become like number one because other guys are just dropping off and you're staying consistent in terms of how you're winning and the opponents that you're fighting. Look, pound for pound is like I think it's pretty much proven by us, by panelists. Just we have difference of opinion. There's no like if Bucho says this is my pound for pound list, like that's the gold standard. That's it. You know, there's
No, it is. But go ahead.
right. I got you. But
BDA.
we need to. I'm sorry, Gonzalo. But what we need to do, what we need to understand is that pound for pound is pretty much, without argument, just an opinion list. Because why would everybody else have a different ranking? Like you go to other sports, right? I think Stu was talking about this in tennis. Like that's a one-on-one sport. Their number one is unanimous, pretty much. I think Stu was telling me this. Like basically their rankings, how they rank top players in tennis, is pretty much unanimous. So if it's like fucking Rafael Nadal, excuse me, I know he's old, but I don't really know much about tennis. If he's number one, it's because he's proved he's number one, and it's a unanimous consensus that he's number one.
The thing is, because he's playing against the best opponents he can. He's playing against the best in the world. Where fighters, they're not fighting the best. They're building up these resumes, fighting these fucking mid-table guys.
That's my point. That's my point.
It's hard for us to judge how good these guys really are until they fight the best. But with Nadal and Federer, we can judge these guys because they're constantly playing in the arena against each other, having wars. So that's how we judge. It's just like we know who the best American football team is because the Super Bowl told us so. Do you know what I mean? It's simple, but we're not getting that.
To BDA's statement, what he said that he considers Daniel Jacobs to be in his best moment as one of the best middleweights, and for that matter, pound for pound. So I think if Canelo wins this fight with the little asterisk on the side, even though I think he should be put up higher because of Terence Crawford's quality of opponent and Amir Khan, him being chinny and all, and the fact that he quit. I mean, but just the fact that he wasn't one of the best welterweights, and also with Krolla, I'm not saying that Vasily Lomachenko and Terence Crawford are not great fighters, but based on the opposition against the $1 Million Krolla, he wasn't the best guy out there because he didn't come in there with a plan or to win for that matter. So as far as quality of opposition, if Canelo is regarded as number 3 tentatively, based on the fighter he's fighting in Jacobs, he should, if he knocks him out, he should be put up higher. And this is where I go with this. The pressure with this will be put on the promoters because obviously if that Oscar De La Hoya is doing something right, is that he's making I don't doubt that Canelo is scared of anybody, just like Triple G. I mean,
All right, Gonzalo, wrap it up. Man.
Okay. To Vasily Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez would be the equivalent of a Gennady Golovkin. Mm-hmm. To Terence Crawford the equivalent would be a Errol Spence. So what I'm saying, if the pressure, if they want their fighters to be pound for pound, should be put on the promoters to make these fights happen and stop enough with this bullshit of a Cold War.
That's a good point.
Can I just quickly get in because I think it's hard. I've got Canelo number 3, and I just find it hard to push him above Usyk and Lomachenko for a win over Jacobs. So that's where I'm with that one. So he's going to stay at number 3.
All right, there you go. It's interesting because the other aspect of this fight, because I don't want to look past this fight, but it is interesting that depending upon how Canelo performs against Daniel Jacobs, it should give us a good indication of how he would perform against natural super middleweights, because Jacobs, they have him listed as 5'11" apparently. He looks to be about 6 feet tall, 6 feet, I don't know, maybe taller. So how Canelo deals with him will give us a good indication, because, like I said, Jacobs is a big dude, big, tall dude, certainly bigger than Canelo at this point. And whenever you have a guy that's skilled like Jacobs and he's bigger and taller than you, usually it presents a bit of a challenge. So, by the way, I see we got, is that McGregor Boxing Talk on the line? Or
Yeah. I was just talking to him.
Yeah.
What up, McGregor?
What's up, lads? How's it going?
Good to have you on board, man. When did you change your name, by the way?
Sorry, there's some background noise. I can't hear anything. What did you say?
When did you change your name? I'm just curious.
Probably about 4 months ago.
Oh, okay. So I guess I didn't notice. All right. So yeah, we're talking about Daniel Jacobs versus Canelo. Bucho, should we take?
Good fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight. Should we take predictions now, Bucho? Or?
Yeah, man. I'll write it. I have a piece of paper here.
Piece of paper. Why don't you open up Word or WordPad or something?
Anyway. Fuck that shit.
All right, let's start. We'll go opposite direction today. We'll start with Apology. Apology, you there? Apology. He's probably...
Yeah, yo.
Were you
What's
deadlifting? I thought you were deadlifting or something. All right, go ahead. Prediction time. Come on.
Canelo unanimous decision.
Okay, but you got to specify real unanimous decision or just Las Vegas unanimous decision?
He has the skills to beat Jacobs without the help. I don't know why he needs it, but Canelo unanimous decision.
Mm-hmm.
He actually wins.
All right, Butcher, you got that?
No, go ahead.
Jesus.
No, because I was in the chat. Fucking, you know who was in the chat? Fucking Hamed was in the chat again.
Who cares? Let that.
How to fucking block him?
Come on, Butcher, let him live.
Nah.
Let
He's
that
fucking out. This guy's
listen,
a fucking maniac.
Why can't we let that mushmouth? Why can't we let slurring? All right, whatever. Fuck it. What do I know?
Go. Sorry, I missed your. Just give me your prediction.
I'm with Mocho, by the way.
Unanimous decision.
Canelo
unanimous decision. Canelo.
All right. Okay. Next.
All right. Now, next we got Precise, who just came back on. Precise prediction time.
Well, you know I gotta go with my boy, my favorite fighter, the greatest fighter of all time, the unbeatable Canelo Alvarez. And I think Gonzalo convinced me calling him a bum. I think I'm gonna go with UD instead of a TKO, as I was saying earlier. A unanimous decision. He wins legitimately. I'll say 7-5.
All right.
Next episode, we're gonna be see Precise dressed with that panda pajamas that Canelo was wearing. So he's starting to get turned into a Canelo fan.
Juicy.
All right, let's go with Gonzalo. Gonzalo, prediction time.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it Canelo Alvarez 10-round TKO, because the only reason for that is because there's too many decisions been going down both ways. Every now and then you got to break the pattern, as logic would say. So I just say 10-round TKO Canelo.
Right.
All right.
Hey, you know what, Gonzalo? People in the chat room are saying you're a Canelo fanboy.
No. I could say a lot of bad shit about Canelo. I'm a boxing fan in general, just like you, BDA.
All right, because I was gonna say to people, watch out, because you're gonna pull out the 50 cal. Gonzalo doesn't play around with that shit. All right, let's go to Johnny. Johnny, prediction time, baby.
What was that? Johnny shit. Fucking John Gonzalez keep calling me that. I ain't from Philly. Goddamn it.
Come on, Johnny.
What's up, John? Yeah,
Johnny.
I ain't from Philly, bro. I ain't Danny Garcia. Come on, man. But I got some. I'll say Canelo by majority decision, but one of them fucking scorecards is going to be white as a bitch, white as a 19-year-old's legs.
And by the way, let me give you guys some advice. When you make a prediction, you got to think about it beforehand, and then once you come here, you got to pull the trigger. Because if you overthink it, and believe me, I know what I'm talking about, If you overthink it, you're gonna get it wrong. All right, that's just my little suggestion right there.
I got
Is
this.
that what she told you? BDA?
First of all, with BDA doesn't give girls a choice. All right, I'm like Kobe. I'm like a prime Kobe Bryant. I don't give them a choice. I say what I say goes, and if they like it, they like it. And if they don't, they walk home crooked. All right, recognize. Prediction time, baby.
I got it.
Prediction.
Oh, sorry. Here, I'll
Hold
tell
on,
you.
recognize prediction.
Wait, who-
Come on. He's having
wait,
too
who's
much fun
next?
in his basement, in his man cave, because you know his wife is after him. Recognize prediction, man. Come on. All right, we'll get to recognize
Give me
after.
like 2 minutes. 2
All
minutes.
right, all right.
Come
he's in
back
the
to me in 2 minutes.
You can tell he's in the shitter. All right, Stuart, prediction time.
I'm going to go with Canelo Alvarez stoppage in the 9th round. I think it's going to be very exciting. Jacobs is going to come out and he's going to land shots on Canelo. Vice versa. I think it's going to be a bit back and forth. I don't think Canelo's going to blast Jacobs out of there early. That's for sure. I think Jacobs has got more about him than that. But in the end, I think the body punches will take its toll, slow Jacobs down, and that's when you slow Jacobs down and Canelo starts landing his combinations, then it's going to be very hard for Jacobs to make the 12th round, and I just don't see it. 9th round stoppage.
All right, McGregor, prediction time.
I see it being a tight enough fight. I think Canelo's his body shots, they'll slow Jacobs down through the mid rounds. He'll start to take over later. We might have an even round towards like the 12th round as well. I think Jacobs might take the first 3 rounds. Canelo wins through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and he wins it probably 8-4. And I think most of the judges' scorecards will be like the 3 judges' scorecards. It'll be a majority decision: 114, 114, 116, 112, and 115, 113.
Very accurate. Damn.
Yeah, right.
So wait. So I'm sorry, I got fucking lost. So that's majority decision you said for Canelo?
It'll be a majority decision on the official judges' scorecards.
Right.
I think it'll be a tight enough fight. I'm picking Canelo myself around 8-4, but I think it'll be a majority decision.
All right.
All right.
Let's get back to recognize. Has it been 2 minutes already, or you think he's still taking a shit?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to answer. I was taking a ride on the elevator shaft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what you call the bathroom. All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of clicking sounds, like there's a sound coming from your end.
How about now?
Still.
How about now?
Still.
Fuck off.
Well, he's in the elevator shaft. There's a bunch of fucking bugs in the elevator shaft usually, so that's why.
All right, I got it simple for me. I'm gonna make it quick. I'm gonna say Canelo unanimous decision. He's gonna get a knockdown. He'll win like 7 to 8 rounds. It'll be close. Jacobs will have his moments because he's a bigger guy and he's a pretty elusive boxer, so allow him to survive and have his moments. That's what I think.
All right, there you go. That's a sensible enough prediction. Bucho, your turn.
Canelo, unanimous decision.
For a second, I thought you were going to say Canelo round 5th KO or something like that, because I know you're a big Canelo fan.
No, I was gonna go with 10th round stoppage, but you know what? I don't. I think Jacob's gonna be on the back foot at the second part of the fight, and Canelo won't be able to catch him. So,
Okay. I'm going to go with Canelo by very, very close decision. And I think there's going to be a lot of spots, especially in the middle rounds, where Jacobs is going to make him look bad. And it's going to make a lot of fans on the Sunday show, a lot of you guys are going to be saying that Canelo was exposed and that he's not that great. So I think that's how it's going to go. We're all picking Canelo, apparently, except for... Who picked Jacobs, Bucho? Nobody, huh?
No one.
No one. All right.
Nobody.
All right,
I
so
thought
listen.
Gonzalo picked Jacobs.
Yeah, no, that was Precise was saying that, but he wasn't.
I was just fucking with him.
But you guys don't think that he's been dehydrating himself for too long, and he's 33 years old now, and the body punching is going to catch up to him late, and he's shown not to have a greatest chin, but against the quality opposition, Sulecki and Deverychenko weren't the biggest punchers. He couldn't get knocked out, but now with the slightly heavier puncher and a better body puncher,
I think
he's going to get
Jacob
hurt.
He's strong enough to survive.
I'm with Bucho. He'll get hurt and then he'll run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
he's gonna
why,
run.
and that's why he's already covering his bases by saying, "Well, I'm gonna get robbed if I, if I go, he goes to a decision because he knows he's gonna go to a decision, or it's highly likely that he will." So
That's a good point.
The best is when fighters they don't do enough to win the fight and they know it, and then they act angry after the fight. Case in point, Adrian Broner, Manny Pacquiao in the last fight. Hold on a second. Shout out to Michael Stott, says one of the best episodes of BDA this year. When is the next one? Well, first of all, the best episodes of BDA are when I'm here. Those obviously that's I don't even have to say that. But thank you, Michael, for your contribution. And thank you for the compliment. Next episode should be on Friday. So,
by the way, Quags is right, man. How the fuck did he know I was installing cameras in the elevator? Shit, that's scary, man.
Did you already finish installing the cameras in the toilets, in the women's toilets, or?
Yeah, I did that.
And the men's as well.
I took care of that.
I heard recognize is the Puerto Rican equalizer. He's a vigilante, isn't it?
Yeah, I clean up neighborhoods.
That's right. He kills dogs.
An old lady got robbed the other day, and the person who did it was found with no limbs.
Yeah,
I took
care of that with blowtorch.
Yeah, that's what we heard earlier.
He gave him the Mad Sam DeStefano treatment.
They call him the werewolf of Queens. Is that where you're from, by the way? Are you living in Queens or are you in Harlem, Little Harlem? Or I always forget.
Oh, no. I'm not from those shitholes. I'm from Queens, baby, always.
Whoa.
You're there with a bunch of Italians. You want to be Italian. Come on.
Yeah, recognize. Oh, fucking song. Yeah, I fucking hate it. I heard it come on the radio. I nearly crashed my car. I thought, I don't want to hear
it. Yo.
I recognise. Can I ask you something quickly? You're from Queens, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you know a guy called Anthony Bloodstain Lane from Queens?
Oh, wow. What was Blood? What?
His name's Anthony Lane. He calls himself Bloodstain Lane. He used to be an MMA. He's funny as fuck, man. He's a proper geezer. He's from Queens. He goes and when he has beef online, he goes to their house and has fights with them live on camera.
You know who Anthony Pettis is, the MMA fighter?
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah, Pettis.
Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah.
Ah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe you could get him.
Queens is very nice, Stu. Don't get me wrong. There's some real fucking shitty ghettos over there, but most of Queens is nice.
Hey,
yeah,
but
I saw it.
Well, recognize when you're walking around the street. You went to the all-male university, aka the booty school, and you were in the streets and you shot dogs and you've knocked out women and you've gotten into fights at Madison Square Garden. Don't the old sweet Jewish ladies there? Hold on a second. Yeah, John Gonzalez. Shout out to John. He says recognizes the black Carlito Brigante. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, if you look at my picture, do I look like a black guy to you? I'm gonna surprise you guys one day, but I'm just asking.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, recognize you
look like a rapper. You look like a rapper.
Recognize looks a bit like Regis Prograde, doesn't he?
He does.
I was gonna say he looks a little bit like Drake let himself go, but fair enough.
Yeah, he looks like Drake when the song too long.
Throw him in the trunk, Poppy. Be fun.
Hey, by the way, recognize.
Throw him in the trunk like
he looks like an album cover. That's what he looks like.
An
album cover,
like the old days.
Recognize. Can you get me Carlito's Way on Blu-ray? Half price or?
I thought I said that to you already.
All right, fantastic. I don't know. Fuck, I forget shit. Listen, before I forget shit, I just wanted to say something regarding the Canelo Jacobs fight, because some people are saying on the internet, they're saying, well, if Jacobs could go 12 rounds against Golovkin, then he's going to go 12 against Canelo, or he's going to take his power. But would you guys agree that there's different types of power? Yes, Golovkin is punch for punch, he hits harder than Canelo, but he's also slower than Canelo. And in a way, Jacobs...
That's the key. Go on, bro. Sorry.
So that's why you think... Let's start with Stu. So that's why you think that Canelo is going to be able to get him out of there, whereas Golovkin couldn't.
different kind of punchers. One's a very thudding puncher. I mean, you see Golovkin hits very hard, but the way he throws them, you see them coming. He doesn't hide the fact that he's going to throw them. Where Canelo, he just comes from better angles, more explosive, quicker, not as hard, but the ones that knock you out are the ones you don't see. And I think I just think in the pocket, Canelo. I think Jacobs will get a bit confident in the pocket, start throwing his hands, and he'll get caught with one. It's just the ones you don't see, and I just think with the Canelo, I think he just throws him a bit more. There's a bit more precision, a bit more explosive, if you get what I'm saying. It's hard to explain.
Also, I think Canelo will go to the body a lot more than Triple G did in that fight.
Yeah, I think so, man, because that's what people were saying after the Golovkin-Jacobs fight. They were saying, how come fucking Golovkin didn't go more often to the body? And, all right, what's going on, Recognize? Recognize is giggling.
Oh, shit, I thought I was muted. Sorry, man.
What the fuck? Are you reading
I was reading some of the comments.
Oh, well, let's get to some of the comments.
He's looking in the camera. He's giggling at the ladies.
Real quick, Shepard said, Recognize survived 9/11 and the Godzilla in '98.
Oh, that movie sucked, man. But yeah, getting back to the, I'm very curious to see how fucking Canelo handles the power of Jacobs. Can Canelo handle that power? Because we all know he's a guy.
Dude, he's like 4 or 5 inches taller than him, right?
Yeah, at least 3 inches.
Did you see the staring? At least 3 inches. Okay, maybe I'm over exaggerating. Maybe at least. So and it just looks like, you know, if fucking Jacobs was allowed to like gain as much fucking weight as he wants, you know, man, it looked like he would be much bigger than Canelo.
That's what I'm saying. He is bigger.
I'm interested to see.
Go ahead.
I'm interested in seeing them in the ring. I'm sorry, BDA. I'm interested in seeing them come fight night. What it's going to look like, the size difference.
Yes, absolutely. And I've been saying it nonstop. Oh, hold on a second.
That was rude.
Yeah, Gonzalo is saying, Recognize is the Fres of Kendo of boxing. He's 45 years old and he's ranked high at the moment. I don't get the last part, but all right. Thanks. Shout out to Gonzalo
Fres
for
of
that.
Kendo is still fighting, yo. That's crazy. That is crazy.
I can't believe it, man. I remember him fighting like Chris Bird and all these fighters.
And by the way,
he's ranked very high, like number 3.
I want to get back to the. I want to get back to the boxing.
Fres of Kendo still fighting? Who's he fighting?
Bumps.
He's getting a title shot. He just put
his mother.
He just put a lawsuit in. But anyways, I don't mean to change the subject.
Yeah, BDA, go ahead.
I wanted to get to because Recognize he's from a different world from the people he lives with in Queens. You know, a bunch of little Jewish old ladies and Italians, and he doesn't play around. When somebody steals his newspaper, this is his war cry. Hold on a second. Oh, that's that's trouble right there. All right. What was I going to say about the? Oh yeah, so yes, I'm usually I don't give a fuck about the weigh-ins because you know they don't tell you much. But this is a fight where the weigh-in is really going to tell us a lot about how the fight might go. If Jacobs goes in there looking like bubbles from the wire, we're going to know he's in trouble. What do you guys think?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Anybody looks like bubbles from the wire, he's in a bad situation, man.
BDA, you're fucking cracking me up today, dog.
I try. But you know what? One thing that does worry me for Canelo, I'm very worried about my Canelito. When he holds his hands up, he can get caught with some shots behind the gloves, especially if it's an overhand right. And lo and behold, what does Daniel Jacobs throw? A slapping right hand that is a slap. But just like Deontay Wilder, it looks deceptively easy to take, but actually it's quite heavy. What do you guys think is a punch, if anything? Which punch can Jacobs hurt Canelo with? And I'm talking really make him
the right hook. The right hook.
I think he should throw a right uppercut and then straight right in like the same combination. After Canelo starts going to the body, like he'll block it and then have a short right uppercut and then short right hand.
Didn't he knock somebody down with a right hand? recently. Didn't he knock somebody out or down with an overhand right in his last? Well, maybe not
He
recently.
knocked out what's his name, Quillen with an overhand right. That
Yes,
started
yes.
the culmination, and then he knocked down Skoletsky with a right hand.
Yeah, he
Right.
made Sulecki do the stanky leg with the right hand, bro.
Yes, that's true. I thought it was a left hook for some reason. Sorry, Gonzalo, you were gonna say something.
No, well, I just the thing about Canelo, you're right. He does get hit around the guard,
Uh-huh.
but the thing is, he's always the reason he's got a good chin is because he's physically strong, and also because he's always expecting like he's to counter, and he's always like paying attention. It's very rarely when he like that 10th round or 11th round he got caught by Golovkin. I don't think he was expecting that too much, but he was able to roll it a little bit. But if Golovkin couldn't hurt him, I doubt that. Even with that slapping fast right cross that Jacobs throws, I don't think he was going to be able to hurt him.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But yeah,
well,
I
it is
think
a
the
good
only
punch.
way, the only way Jacobs hurts him is to like cut his face or like cause like swelling from the slaps. I think that's the only way he can hurt
No,
Canelo.
and what I'm saying when I say he expects it already, it's like he's already like tightening up his body, like to brace himself for
Yeah,
the
of course.
punch.
I'm just saying, like those slaps, like do damage to your face, and especially with
Yo,
cats, like at the end of the glove, it will cut you.
yo, who's this
Yeah.
fucking bitch in the chat? Luis Quesada, little fucking troll over here talking about the LD. Bruh, nobody gives a fuck. Get out of your feelings like a little bitch, bro.
well, hold on.
What's
Isn't Luis
happening?
Quesada? Luis Quesada is a regular, isn't he? I mean, I haven't seen him in a while, but I don't think. Am I wrong, Bucho? Or
I don't know. What's he saying?
yeah, what
Nah,
is
he
he
was
saying?
saying he's been on here trolling. He's saying a bunch of shit about the fucking LDBC and y'all ain't trying to give Canelo no credit. Spencer's
Uh,
number 2 pound for pound. Like, shut your little bitch ass up, bro. Don't nobody care about your feelings, homie.
well, I
You know
have a
what?
hard time.
I have to say. Sorry, BD. Go ahead.
But I'm just real quick. I have a hard time seeing how we're not giving Canelo credit if we're all picking him to win the fight. I mean, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah, I give it some thought. Like I'm just gonna say this. The like many years I've been watching boxing. Like I'm 40 years old. I've been a fan ever since I was like 8 or 9 years old. So like I've had to go through like my stages in boxing
Mm-hmm.
where I was able to like see things for what they are nowadays. And I'm not just gonna stoop to the level of many people. I don't know who it is. I'm not pointing the finger, but you just have to live your own experience. And if you're ever gonna be a real boxing fan, you have to like live it. But a lot of people are haven't gone through the same process as many of us have. If we're
Mm-hmm.
real boxing fans.
That's a very
That's
good
just what I
point.
gotta say about that.
That's a
Yeah.
very good
Stu
point.
made
And
a good. Sorry, BDA.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, like Stu said, he's like, yeah, earlier, yes, my dad used to let me stay up and fucking watch, Hagler and shit when he was fighting. Yeah, that's how my pops was with me, and when Tyson was gone, you know what I'm saying? Well,
Mm-hmm.
so later on, Tyson, anyway, you know what I mean?
Well,
Been
speaking of
around
father,
it I've been watching it shit since I jump out the womb, bro.
there you go, man. And speaking of fathers, riding off of what Gonzalo said, let's not
I
forget.
remember. I remember being quite. I mean,
Go ahead, Stu. Go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry, I was just saying. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I was just saying. I remember when. I remember when I stayed up late. I was so young. I mean, not many people my age watch boxing at 4 or 5 in the morning. I remember I stayed up. I was really young. I was fucking struggling, but I stayed up to watch Mike Tyson versus No, it wasn't Buster Douglas. It was Bone Crusher Smith, and it was a fucking dreadful fight. One of the worst fights you'll ever watch in the history of watching boxing. It was a terrible fight. But I remember as a young kid staying up till and back then staying up till 5 in the morning was tough. But I remember just sitting there with all my sweets, and my mum and dad let me stay up, and I stayed up to watch Tyson v Bone Crusher Smith. And to be honest with you, I wish I didn't.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes you stay up to watch certain fights and they end up being stinkers. But just to you okay, so that's a disturbing image. Watching Little Stu watching Tyson fight while he's eating a fry up and drinking his cup of tea and probably a Guinness just to wash that all that shit down. But I do want to say to jump off of what Gonzalo said about being honest, Timothy 2:15, do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly handles the word of truth. Colossians 3:9, do not lie to each other, since you have taken off your old self with its practices. I can go on and on with scripture, but the point is, be honest.
Amen. Amen.
Be honest.
Amen.
There you go. Amen. Be honest
Yo,
about yourself. Yes.
Sorry. Yo, Stu, one time I remember when I was a youngster, I went to go see over there in Tijuana. The local casinos are called Caliente, the betting, the books. And when I was a teenager, I went with my brother and my father to go see the remember Bruce Seldon when he took a dive? And somehow I picked a round and I dropped like $8 on the betting the where the registers, and I was able to come out with a little profit. I just remember because I got on a fight with my brother and my dad, and I booked on them, and they're like surprised that I picked a round. I forget, I think it was round 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but I remember that experience, man. Bruce Seldon against Mike Tyson. Yeah.
So what? Nobody has anything to
Yeah,
say about that?
that was the night. That was the night Tupac got shot and eventually died.
Nobody
I thought
cares.
that-
Tupac?
I thought
The Bruce Seldon fight?
Recognize. I thought that was
Yeah.
Frank Bruno, bro.
No, that was Bruce Seldon for sure.
Oh, okay, for sure. Yeah.
No,
All right, so he
no
died.
BDA. That actually was my first prediction that I made a profit on betting.
No kidding.
Because I picked a round and he got KO'd. Bruce Seldon took a dive, which I thought was remarkable because everybody remembered that fight. Bruce Seldon, he took a dive, right?
I believe he did.
I don't
I'm
know
not
if he
sure.
took a dive. He just went down with a very suspect punch.
People want more. People want more Bible quotes. We gotta go, by the way, soon. But before we do, Matthew 5:8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Proverbs 10:9. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. Proverbs 11:13. No, sorry, 11:3. I believe the integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by
Yeah,
their
I gotta go.
duplicity.
But
Proverbs 12:17. Do not trust Puerto Ricans, for they will stab you in the back.
PDA, you're the reason someone back.
What?
PDA, man. PDA, you're the reason someone backed down the Notre Dame fucking cathedral. You are.
No.
Yo,
No, wait a minute.
you know,
That's not right. That's not right at all.
If BDA doesn't stop the sermon, black smoke's gonna come out of my fucking head, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's-
start screeching like, and he's gonna start screeching like the fucking xenomorph off of Alien over here.
Well, I tell you what, man. Speaking of demons, fucking John Gonzalez is saying pray to Baal, the ancient god from the Phoenicians, I believe. So no, we will not be praying to Baal. We're gonna be praying to Jesus Christ, the OG, the one that always keeps it real. All right.
Our Lord and Savior.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go, McGregor. McGregor, you're Irish, right?
Yes,
Black Irish. He's a Black Irish.
Well, he's full Irish.
I'm a gypsy.
unlike-
I'm traveler. Traveler Irish.
But you see, he's Irish. At least he admits he's full Irish, not like Stu, who has to say, "Well, I'm half Irish, half Brit." Doesn't want to embrace his Irish side. Come on. Don't forget.
Yo, BDA.
Yes. It better be about the Bible,
there's a-
Gonzalo. It better be about the Bible.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like I said, I am what I am.
Stu's gonna get all pissed off.
There's a scripture that talks about a fighter defend the truth like a fighter, like a boxer. It says, I can't find it right now. I was gonna say that.
Oh.
I'll find it next time, or
Sorry,
if
I
you can
think-
find it later.
Please don't. Please don't.
Stu was going to say something.
Just pray to Leviathan. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, Stu was going to say something. Stu, you were going to say something?
His connection is all fucked up, I think.
Yeah, I think there's a delay.
Do it.
I've got.
You're,
out, man.
you're cutting off, Stu. Sorry.
That's for not embracing the Irish side. St. James or whatever other Irish saint is punishing him for his insolence and his sins as well. Let me tell you something. Oh, he's back. Stu, can you hear us?
What do you mean any other Irish saint? You missed the most popular one, St.
Which-
Patrick.
That's well.
Hey, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
can you hear
we
us?
can hear you, Stu.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. To be real, I mean, my Irish they don't really give me a lot to be fucking proud of, do they? What do they win at? Nothing.
Oh.
So yeah, I have to fucking. What don't you?
Hey,
if there's a
Stu.
loser around, the Irish will find him.
Stu goes with the
let's be
Empire.
real, they don't win
Stu,
anything,
Stu, I've got a question for
Yeah.
you. I have a question for you. 642 years
Go
of
on,
war
then.
and winning
Go
your
on.
independence, right? Name the only country to win a 642-year war and get their independence back from another nation.
Wakanda.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
it wasn't done with force, was it? It was done on a negotiation table.
Country.
Well,
That
it's
would
not
be
like you
good.
steamrolled
The best
through
country in the
London.
world.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. It was actually done by taking out 75% of the MI6. That's why they went to negotiations.
Just say okay. IRA to Stu and end the conversation.
Hey, by the way,
IRA.
sorry to interrupt, but I do have to say, I want to reiterate something to the people in the chat room. I want you to leave your predictions in the comment section of the video, and then we're gonna start counting the predictions, see who has them right, who has them wrong, and whoever starts having too many predictions wrong, you're not gonna be allowed to listen to the show anymore. Now, I know a lot of you people are saying, "Ha ha ha, BDA, how are you gonna stop us from listening to the show?" Well, I am friends with the manager of diversity over at YouTube, Lisa Chang, who's a transracial person, just like I am, transracial, and she has informed me that she can get access
Is
to
she
all
hot?
the No, it's transracial, and that she can get access to all the ISP addresses or IPS, whatever the fuck you call them, so she can ban people from specific channels. All right, because we gotta
Wow,
start
you're
thinking.
big time.
That's right, Lisa Chang. She told me, listen, BDA.
Now, let me ask you something.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
What
ahead.
did Lisa Chang tell you? Go ahead.
Well, she just said, listen,
Food
BDA.
show. Was she hot?
She said, no, I told you she's transracial. And she told me, BDA, my transracial brother, you got to keep it real. And I said, that's right, sister. Keep on keeping on. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to thin the herd because it's too many people in the chat room now, all right?
Keep on keeping on.
That's
You know, you
right.
almost sounded like this country guy who called in when you did that. But I'm not gonna, I'm gonna let that slide. But
Did you guys listen to the Jive Five's greatest hits after that, BDA?
The Jive's Five. I
how
don't
does
even
it
know.
feel to be transracial? How does that feel? What does that make you feel like?
It's fantastic. It's the
You don't
best,
know who
man.
the Jive Five? You don't know who the Jive Five is?
No.
What the fuck is transracial?
I already explained it to you once. I already explained it to you.
It's where you identify as a different race. So as myself,
trans normally means it's transitional. So, like, did you
Yeah.
start out white and you're transitioning into being black or like
Yeah.
Hispanic or something?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yo, check
what it is.
Check this out, bro. Check when I was sitting in court.
He's meant to get transitioning into a Canadian.
Stu, hold up. When I was sitting in court for like 6 hours yesterday,
I'm in the middle of editing,
doing what I gotta do.
and my Instagram account
The
got
fuck is
deleted.
that?
Yeah, stop watching your.
Yo. So when I was sitting in court yesterday, bro, you had to fill out all these paperwork. Boom. It's got male, female, and fucking transgender on there now. Back in the day when I had to go to court, they never had none of that shit.
Well, it can help you. It can help you if you want to plead insanity.
That's right.
Well, I identify as colorless, actually, no color.
I mean, the BBC.
So you're not. I'm not black or white.
The BBC have took diversity. Sorry,
I'm
sorry.
transparent.
I've got a delay. The BBC have took diversity. The BBC have took diversity and equality to another level. I mean, that you usually turn the BBC on if there's not a transgender on there, there's a lesbian or some fucking pufter. But they take it to a new level now. They've got a show and they're hosting it with someone with a speech impediment. So I mean, they can't talk properly. They're disabled. Yeah, they're hosting a show. I mean, I'm all about equal opportunity, but you should be able to fucking speak if you're going to host a show.
I'm all about.
It doesn't matter.
I'm all about hearing the show.
All right, hold on, guys. Hold on.
Someone with Tourette's.
Oh, mate, that'd be great. Could you imagine someone with Tourette's doing something with like Katie Price or something? It's like, and today we have Katie Price. Fucking slag.
And you'd be like, sorry, it's my Tourette's, sorry.
What?
okay.
BDA is still
We gotta
watching
stop this.
whatever you're watching.
BDA, disclaimer, please.
He was disabled.
Hold on. Can we put a disclaimer on before we
She was
First of
disabled.
all,
She couldn't speak properly.
before we continue, because we're all talking over each other, because Stu has a
Oh,
15
damn.
second
I feel like an idiot.
Stu has a 15-second delay. People can't hear each other properly. We gotta keep some order on this
15 seconds.
before we go. All right.
I think you
Hold
mean
on.
50.
Hold on a second. Hold on. All right. By the way, before
Yo,
apology,
Can-
man.
can I
What
say
is it?
something
Hold
real
on. Let apology talk.
No, hold on. Let BDA talk. Let BDA talk. Go ahead,
Okay.
BDA.
Apology. Say whatever you're gonna say because you've been wanting to say something for a while now. Go ahead.
Manuel Alvarez asks, is Michelle Joy Phelps trans?
Oh, come on.
Yo, she looks
Apology.
like-
Based on her current Instagram
Can't
feed, it's a
breathe.
possibility.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
look
It's a
suspect.
distinct possibility,
That's
man. Like,
face.
I told McGregor earlier. Me and him were talking with Del Boy. I says the only way I'd fuck Amber Rose is if I get to hurt her in the process.
that's completely fair. I mean, man, I'm still pissed. I had a video taken down like a few days ago. Yeah,
Good.
I did a video called "Roasting Boxing Sluts" on Twitter while watching porn, which is what I was doing. I had porn playing in the background. People flagged it, and I was like watching Michelle Joy Phelps. And I was on her Instagram, and I'm like, "Yo, she's turning into a transgender." And then I bring up like transgender women all over, like on Google Images, and I start bringing them up, and a fat guy in our comment section, like saying, "You're the first lady of boxing. You're beautiful." And I'm like, "Dude, she looks like RuPaul in the face." And apparently, that got me flagged.
First of
Yo,
all,
you just send me that video, man. If you still have it.
Nah. First of all, you don't disrespect
No,
women
yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes.
You don't disrespect women like that on this show. It's just not gonna happen. Not while I'm around. Second of all,
Not gonna happen. It's not gonna
No,
happen.
it's not happen. We respect women. We respect.
But what if
transgender.
what if you're unsure about the woman? What if it's possibly a man? Can you
well, you know
disrespect
what?
them?
In
It's a
that
woman.
case,
It's
in
a
that
woman.
case, you have to be
I'm not sure.
Doesn't
open-minded.
matter.
In that case,
Let
She's
BDA
got-
talk.
oh,
Let
in
BDA
that
talk.
case,
Go
you
ahead,
have to
BDA.
be open-minded, and you have to say, "All right, you're a man. Fine, I'm still gonna go out with you." Just in the same case as if your wife turns out your kids aren't yours and she had them with some other guy, you still have to support them. That is the American and the
that's
universal
actually
way.
that's actually I don't know because I know we talk to a lot of guys from everywhere in America, bro. If you get some girl pregnant, you sign that you're the father.
That's
you
right.
find out 2 years later you're gonna be paying child support till that kid is 21.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sucks
Okay,
to be you.
but I'm not American, so I'm exempt from the.
Well,
That's
just put it
right.
this way.
Well, you're lucky on that part.
No, yeah, you're
Well,
worse than
just put it
American.
this
You're
way.
Irish.
I went to see my kids earlier because I've got twins. I went to see my twins earlier, and the mother was talking to me. She goes, "Oh, she was talking about one of them." Oh, she goes, "It's quite feminine, this one." She goes, "I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to play with dolls when he's older." She goes, "I might have to get him one." I said, "Listen here," I said, "Don't be bringing him around my house then with a fucking doll. He can stay at home.
Yo.
I ain't having no. My boys are going to be fucking alpha males." And that's that. There's no transgender, fucking weak, fake. Not going to happen.
Stu, you should have bought the scarf when she said that.
Oh.
What did you say, bitch?
Oh, come on. Apology.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's only messing about because he's a bit of a because he's a bit girly for he's a bit of a girl. The other one's like fucking. He's built like an Icelandic, them world's strongest men, and fucking Icelandic guys that pull aeroplanes. He looks like he's going to be one of them, but the other one's a bit because he's a bit smaller and a bit girly. So he's a bit girly. So she was saying about the dolls. I said, "Trust me, mate. You can leave him at fucking home, mate. If he plays with dolls, I will not be bringing him around my house." And that's just how it is. Cruel or not, but that won't be the case.
Not at all, Stu.
That changes. That's gonna. I know you said they're babies, right? How old are they, Stu?
Well, no, they're walking a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna change quickly. Like my youngest son was. I was a little worried in the beginning. That little motherfucker's a boy now.
Hey, by the way,
I'm the same way, man. My little fella, like he was a little skinny blonde little one looking. I'm telling you, looking suspect as fuck. Now he's a little hench motherfucker. He's 6 years old and he's lifting up shit that I can't even lift sometimes.
That's what happens right there. 6 and shit.
I keep telling my kids, listen, do whatever you have to, as long as you're honest with yourselves and as long as Jesus Christ is on your side and you are true to him, then you shall be fine. But I tell you something though. There are people out there that don't know where they're going. Case in point, I was watching this woman. There's this girl, rather. She's like a fucking Instagram thought. She had about 100,000 followers or something on Instagram, and somebody reported her. Or I don't know what happened. I think she lost her account due to a glitch, but she had about 100,000 supporters, maybe more. And she went on YouTube crying, telling Instagram to return her account. So let's see what she had to say about that.
To say to everybody that's been reporting me, think twice because you're ruining my life. Because I make all of my money online, all of it, and I don't want to lose that. And I know people like to see me be down and be like them and be like the 90%ers, the people that work 9 to 5. That is not me. I am in LA to not be like that. It works.
She does not want to work a 9 to 5 job.
I
Now,
heard that shit.
BDA, I saw that article.
Hold
It's so fucking pathetic. Like,
we're not done
she
yet.
now
Hold
has
on.
to work a 9 to 5 job.
Apology.
Oh
We're not
my
done.
god.
Apology. We're
Yo,
not
what's
done.
our number?
Can anybody hear me? By the way,
What's her
I'm gonna start
number?
muting people. I'm gonna start muting
What's
people,
her
guys.
number?
Guys.
BDA, we can't
Guys.
hear you.
Fucking hey. All right, yeah. I'm gonna start muting people because they can't hear me. We're not done watching the video yet. I want to just play another little clip here of what she has to say regarding that thing.
I am nothing without my.
Okay, yeah, that's the part I want to see.
I
Yo,
am nothing without my
Yo,
followers.
Hold on, Johnny boy. Hold on.
Put this in the video. I am nothing without my following. I am nothing without my following.
She is nothing without her following. All right, now people are asking who that is. I didn't want to do it, but that's Recognize the Matrix right there speaking. We just put up the pitch of the voice a little higher. But that is
right.
no, BDA.
I actually watched that bit.
Yeah, I heard that before from somewhere. It's one of them little porno broads. I forget who it is though.
Oh, it's a porno broad. I thought it was just an Instagram.
I don't think she does porn.
Yeah.
It's just, she's an Instagram for.
Nah, here I'm about to find it right now. Hold up.
I mean, come on. She says she can't work a 9 to 5 job.
I remember it happened with a porn girl. Her name was Lana Rhodes.
Oh, was it? Yeah, whatever the fuck her name was. Yeah, I don't remember.
I think
you seem to know them pretty well.
Girl.
Well, now you know them so well.
This is another girl, Johnny boy. I don't think.
No, I swear I didn't know her name. On my fucking life, I don't know that bitch name. I swear, but yeah, I just remember hearing it before.
But yeah, she says she can't work a 9 to 5 job. She says that's why she went to LA for not to work a 9 to 5 job. And she said that without her Instagram account, you heard it, she said she is nothing. Nothing. So people are saying they want a photograph of the girl. Here, hold on a second, apology. Here's a photo of the girl. Is it a girl? I can't tell nowadays. I think it's a girl. You never know nowadays.
She's ugly. Ugh.
I can't see her.
Fucking hell. Ugh. Like people pay to see that. People actually pay to see that. Like, come on.
I can't see this girl.
Have some fucking self-respect.
I'm nothing without my followers. God.
BDA, can you get into industry? You can help her out.
Yeah, but she's right though. She's nothing without her followers because she's a worthless piece of shit, like most women are.
There you go.
Thank you, George.
Let's be real. Half of these fucking women, right? You go around their house, they barely cook. I remember I started dating a girl. I sent her back 3 times to get my cheese and toast right. She brought the first time. There was only one side cooked. One side fucking cooked. And my cheese and toast. I sent her ass back. I can't fucking cook. One girl made out she was. One girl made out she was fucking Kim Kardashian. I went around the flat and it looked like West Beirut. There was fucking knickers and makeup and fucking bras everywhere, man. She goes, sit down. I was like, sit down where? I said, where the fuck am I going to sit down? I mean, the place was a hellhole. Like animals. I went around one girl's house and I opened the microwave because that's what I like to do, see how these fucking bitches are living. So I opened the microwave. Fuck me, man. Someone that had a beer ass and shit in the microwave.
Stu, I got a beauty for you. Stu, I got to go on for you, bro.
These girls are bums.
Yeah, yo, I went back to this bitch's crib one time that worked at the. She was in the office at this warehouse I was working at back in the day or whatever. I went over to this bitch's house, man. She was cute too. She was decent. She was like a 6 or a 7. She was, fuckable. But I went over there. This bitch had about 8 ferrets and 6
All right,
rabbits.
can we stop the hyperventilating? I don't know who it is. It sounds like someone's having sex or someone's having a heart attack. So
Nah, but I went back to this bitch's.
Someone's jerking off.
I went back to this bitch's
ahead.
crib, bro, and she's got like 6 fucking pet ferrets and like 5 fucking rabbits running around. There's nothing but fucking.
Now they got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, bro. But recognize, and there's nothing but like wood chips from the cage all over this bitch, bro. So I'm like, so I got done smashing her or whatever. I'm laying, like I took my socks off because I was like laying.
Johnny Boy didn't let that stop him.
Yeah, hell no. But I say, so I go in there. So I'm like, I like took a nap or whatever the fuck. I took my socks off and I'm like stepping over wood chips and shit to get a glass of water. And this bitch's house smelled like fucking rabbit turd. So I never called that bitch again.
They fucking live like fucking savages, man. Half of them, man.
I swear.
I'll tell you what, though, they always do the self up. They're always looking good in their fucking Instagram pictures, aren't they? But yeah, they've got plenty of time to do that, but yet can't clean the fucking house. And it's not just that; they're lazy motherfuckers as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's got all these fucking rabbits and ferrets and shit running around. The house is dirty than a motherfucker. And she lived by herself, so there ain't no excuse for this shit neither. It ain't like she had some dirty ass roommate living with her. She got 4 mountains full of dishes, you know what I'm saying? Fucking piles of clothes all over the place with rabbit turd and fucking wood chips laying all over the place.
Oh, that must stink.
Her name was Mandy. She's from Racine, Wisconsin. But anyways.
Man, you just blasted her.
That sounds like a typical Becky slut name. Like, ugh.
Yeah. I mean, dirty bra straps are unacceptable in my world.
Yeah, that's a good point. Dirty
Like, if
bra
you're gonna
straps.
Dirty bra straps. If she's got a dirty bra strap, get it gone, mate, because it's going to be fucking stinking down there. You can bet your life it will.
Oh my god!
It's going to smell. It's going to smell like the Boston docks on a windy day. Do you know what I mean?
Oh man!
Yeah, go ahead, BJ. I think BJ's trying to say something.
I was just gonna say, I agree with Stu with the dirty bra straps. That shit is disgusting. Also, one thing I can't take, my little pet peeve, is a shaved twat. I don't like shaved twats. I want a nice hairy bush. I want to go in there like it's in the jungle. Reminds me of Vietnam. And I like adventure. What do you want from me? All right?
Yeah, you're old school, bro.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, I don't want to be going down there and seeing a fucking German athlete from the '80s with a fucking hairy minge, hairy armpits and hairy minge. Come on, man.
Imagine that gets stuck in your teeth and then you walk
The
outside.
thing is, though, there's no excuse. There's no excuse to be walking around with a fucking bush these days, man. Definitely not. I mean, we don't ask a lot from these women these days, barely anything. So at least give it a fucking shave. It's not a lot to ask, is it?
all right, that's one way to. Sorry.
BDA, go ahead.
Yeah, that's just we gotta end it on that one. We do have to go. Butch, are you gonna
All
do?
right,
Are you gonna be doing it on Friday's show or?
Yeah.
Probably. All right. You never know, but yeah, but it's tentatively planned. We gotta end on that note. We gotta end it on a high note. We gotta go, but I want to thank everybody who's here, and we got the predictions.
Peace,
by
gentlemen.
All right, fellas. Peace.
All right. I want to thank Stu. Recognize Johnny. I want to thank Gonzalo. Apology. Johnny. I want to thank Precise as well. Apology. McGregor Boxing, who was here earlier as well. So thanks a lot, guys, for being on. Thanks for everybody who gave their predictions. And in the chat room, too, I saw some of your predictions, but I want them in writing in the comment section. And I'm going to read them, and I'm going to tally them. And we're going to read them the day after the fight on the post-fight show. What else? So that's really about it. So thanks a lot for joining us. Also, actually, that's not all. I want to give a shout out to, hold on a second, I'm opening up a window here. That's why you're hearing a lot of clipping. I want to give a shout out to Gonzalo, Apology Man, Michael Stott, John Gonzalez, and Gonzalo again, who contributed. And Apology Man just contributed again, saying she couldn't cook a grilled cheese. Laughing. Yeah, I mean, if you can't cook a grilled cheese, I just don't know what to tell you. Can you boil an egg too? Apparently that's.
Yeah, but the thing is, BDA, it weren't just one mistake. I mean, who gives you a cheese and toast or grilled cheese, whatever you call it, with one side bread and one side toast for a start?
Exactly,
Then you send it back, and then she overcooks it so it's burnt. So then you have to send it back again 3 times, bro, for grilled cheese sandwich, whatever you Americans want to call it. I mean, totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable.
Hey, buddy boy, get it together. I'm not American. I'm Canadian. I'm transracial. All right, so I don't fucking calling me American. What's the matter with you?
Well, no, because that's what they were saying in the chat. Hawker pointed out that they call it a grilled cheese sandwich or something. We call it cheese and toast over here.
Okay, yeah. Well, actually, I like the British version better. I like the British
And
version.
Jason, I'm not going to read your comment out, but their answer is yes. What do you think I hung around for that?
Yeah, Jason Boy.
Well,
All
at
right,
least
so
you can do something right, Stu. At least
all
you
right,
can do
listen,
something right.
we gotta
Yeah,
go.
but that's the thing. Most of them, that's the only thing they can do right, isn't it? Let's be real.
All right, listen, guys, we gotta go. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next one, folks. Take it easy.
Disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Can I kiss you on the mouth?
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Well, your son looks like a fag to me, totally.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Yo.
Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
Gonna be alright, Dickie. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it, asshole?
Don't be afraid. It's just an asshole.
What are you going to do about it, asshole? What are you going to do about it, asshole?